9 cycles have passed. When the gods deem mortals too powerful, they decree a race between their avatar and the mortals to determine their worth. In the race, the mortals are granted a chance to engage the very gods themselves. The mortals are granted a chance of survival. The mortals are granted a chance to become gods. Lose and see all mortal life removed from the Kryn, and the next cycle begins. This race is the final command of the gods to their mortal counterparts. This is their dying order.
Hello everyone, welcome back to
Hello.
Tablestory's Dying Order, episode 18, starring all cast members, except one, Tuesday Grey. Hi everyone, how are you doing? Welcome back to the show. We have the A-team prepared. I know, everyone's been so confused all week, even though I feel like I said 100 times last week that we're not going to flip B-team. Everyone's been like, so is it a B-team but Carl Pocket's not there? Nope. A-team still. Because it worked out. A thing worked out for me. All the stars sometimes align. When you're a GM, sometimes you're just throwing shit at a wall. And sometimes, like, you throw shit at a wall and it creates a Picasso. And you're like, oh, that's perfect. And that's what happened last week. When Pocket went on Ellie went on a killing spree. I shouldn't say Pocket. She'll get arrested. Ellie went on a killing spree with Beau, actually. She turned Beau into a murderer. Why not? He just was casually like, yeah! Fuck it, I'll kill him. What was the character motivation behind that, or do you not want to tell us? He's just evil. It just says on his character sheet he's evil. Lawful evil. Yeah, I did wonder whether you would, because she was like, do it. Kill him.
Okay, I did it because I knew it would, like, consume her, possibly, the curse. I was doing things to her every time she killed someone.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that's fair. That was nice of you then. Well, unfortunately for you, he was already dead, and it was all just a cutscene. You didn't know it. You were in a cutscene the entire time. And even though you tried to stab him in the chest, he died half a second before you technically pierced his heart with the dagger. But more of that in a minute. How's your week's been, lads?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
You feeling tired, PB? Because you've been playing Chrono Trigger for, 12 hours a day for 6 weeks now?
Yes.
Is it affecting you at all?
A little bit, yeah. Like I froze in fear when you said the thing that you said at the beginning of the call, like, oh, prepare yourself for, like, how the session is going to go down today. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah?
I don't have the brain power.
You'll be fine. No, you won't. Everything lies on Suuna's shoulders, unfortunately. No, I'm kidding. Well, does it? Maybe. Who knows? Guess we'll find out in a minute. How was...
happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you so much, and happy birthday to you as well. We found out that we were born on the same day, and I was born first.
By a couple of hours.
By a couple hours.
Happy birthday.
You think
very
that
much.
makes him wiser or something?
No, it means that you have to treat me with more respect.
No.
Yes, it
I
does.
don't know if this is true. So,
KVP's just there like,
It sounds like bullshit.
I don't know about that. Who started the happy birthday meme in your channel, PB? Where did
You
that come
did.
from? It was me.
Yeah, your
I didn't know
folks
if it
came
was a
over and started
meme
wishing me happy
before.
birthday.
I didn't know if it was a meme before, though, because everyone just caught onto it and has been doing it ever since. And I was like, well, it already existed.
Yeah, no, it was you. But I actually did have my birthday like a week ago. So now everyone knows and has stopped. So
Okay.
it's perfect.
All right. Well, someone whose birthday actually is Disbiarix. How you doing?
What? It ain't my birthday today.
Well, we're sending you a birthday present. So what was that all
Oh.
about? Why did you lie to us?
What? I didn't lie. I tell no lies.
Well, happy birthday anyway.
What? Where's my cake?
KPP.
I
on.
went
Where's
to.
my cake?
I am working on it. What kind of frosting do you like? I just need to know the flavor that I need to put on it on the break.
I love chocolate.
Oh yeah, I have that. So I will put chocolate frosting on the cake on the break.
Yay!
Yes.
We'll have to, unfortunately, because we will be on break, you won't actually see us hand the cake over, sing happy birthday, or consume the entire cake with zero evidence that it happened. It's a shame. But that will happen on the break. Confirmed 100%. Someone else who has never had a birthday. KPP.
I am timeless.
A timeless creature.
I'm a timeless creature.
Yes.
Hi. Happy birthday, Brad.
Thanks so much. How was your last birthday? Did you have a party?
I can't remember. It's been such a long time.
It's such a weird question. I love this. This would be my interview format as well. I would never ask like the right questions. It would be something like that. How was your last birthday and what did you do on it? Like,
honestly, last 3 years, I think I've been really sick on all of my birthdays. So I don't know what that's going to tell me, that I'm going to live a very sick life, maybe. It's a premonition that I should watch out for.
it's an extremely positive
This is why
outlook.
you asked it, Brad.
Is the glass half full or half empty for you when you see it?
Depends on the day.
That's honest. I appreciate that honesty.
It's half empty sometimes. It's half full.
Roll a d20 in here. We'll see how the day's going to go for you.
Okay. I'm
Let's see where the luck lies.
a 2.
Yes. Not good, and this is probably the worst time for that to go that way.
Mm-hmm.
The last roll there was a 1 from Ellie as well, so this is just really not working out for the gang. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about Aura, but she had a rough time last week. The old Aura is back. There was a point where Aura became the champion, the hero, for a few sessions, and now she's laying on the ground again. What do you think that was? Because we debunked the myth, or well, we didn't debunk it actually, but we thought we got around the cursed character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think happened last week?
I think it's confirming that I am in fact cursed in real life, and so
Okay.
it's spilling over into Aura.
Yeah, okay, no more. I was going to say no more philosophical questions, but you are sitting poised on death in the game, so I don't want to. Well, I'm gonna. I guess I'll just do what Whack does, and I'll use this underlying psychological issue that you've got here, and I'll try and break you with it. That's what Whack does, right? I don't know how to do this
It's like the
evil
military.
GM thing.
Yeah.
Whack does this thing where he's like, oh, you have real life psychological issues, I'm going to destroy you with it. PB does this thing where she goes, oh, real life issues, I'm going to use them against you in character. So I feel like maybe I should learn from them, right? And do some of that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, just break me down and then build me back up.
That's
At
a
least
good
try
idea.
to build me back up on the other side.
So Aura is lying almost dead, which is a perfect position for this to have happened. Beau also in a room with a dying character. And Suuna in a room with a dying character. We're in a good position to start the episode. To give you a little wrap-up. A wrap-up? Recall? What's it called? Previously on Lost.
Recap.
Uplaw. A little recap of last week. You guys were split up at the beginning of the episode, and you're still split up now, so I don't know why I said it like that. Aura, Suuna, and Alvin, the gnome that is in the village with you guys, who is friends with Aura, were confronted by this seraph, this angel thing. It looked identical to the one that Aura encountered in the first scene of the show, I think it was, and came down. You guys went to battle with it. It seemed overwhelmingly difficult to deal with. It was sort of launching arcs of lightning at you. Some of it destroyed part of the house. I'd say destroyed is probably a bad word, but marked the house. And then you guys half tried to run away and then decided to face the thing down. In doing so, you managed to defeat the thing, but it came at the cost of Aura being quite badly injured. She took 2 pretty nasty lances to... this thing was wielding a partisan, which is kind of like a spear, like a lance. 2 horrible wounds. She went down. It left Suuna and Alvin to deal with the creature. When you dealt with it, it unpolymorphed or whatever was going on. It unshapeshifted back into its original form and revealed itself to be Symbol. The last we saw of Symbol as an audience was when Ahi sent it after you guys, assuming that you guys had basically left the race, and decided to just wipe you guys out and let the sort of cataclysmic events that are happening could just continue without impediment from you lot. And so there is a sort of body. I don't know if it's really a body, but this kind of tar-like construct outside of the house where you guys are. The last we saw of Suuna and Alvin, they were taking Aura inside. She was unconscious, relatively stable. Beau and Ellie were in the mansion of the Pyrehearts, who are the kind of they're almost like a monarchy in this town, really. The mayor and the business owners of the town that have almost all of the control, and they tend to funnel that control upwards towards themselves. They take all the money, take all the profit and benefit from being up there. They are also sort of the established government in the town. They tend to control the main business. They seem to have the mayor is the head of the house as well, and they also have a group of men who act as a sort of a militia and the police in the town. And Ellie ended up at the behest of the youngest son, who was some sort of awful, evil, murdering scientist type, who was very interested in the fact that she was biologically a half-elf and wanted to do some weird experiments to figure out how that works. Beau stole a lot of money, and I believe it was 874 gold in bars, in gold bars, 50 gold pieces per gold bar, and then met up with Ellie. Ellie and Beau basically managed to escape this thing. Then Ellie went on a killing spree, deciding to just take down all of these Pyrehearts. They're clearly evil, they're awful. She wanted some vengeance too, and the two of them went around the house while Ellie dealt out the her own sort of Judge Dredd level of punishment here, where she was like, I'm just gonna take them all out. She killed every member of the Pyreheart family that isn't some sort of like second cousin who has no real claim. The main family, as well as a couple of guards. Each time she did it, it activated that curse mark which was on her hand, having it swell and grow with power. At the end, Beau and Ellie encountered Mayor Holston Pyreheart, who seemed to be he seemed relatively relaxed with the situation. He claimed that other people had tried to kill him. He said that it was a really bad idea because it's going to destabilize the town. And also, the town has been plunged into this extremely early and very, very heavy winter. And it's kind of ruining the town. The town are struggling for food. They're a farming town. They don't really deal with the snow. Most of the wildlife seem to have fled the area, so hunting is down. All the farms the crops have died out, and the food will not see them through to next spring because it's summer, and you now have this like triple long winter. He claimed that it would destabilize the town. Ellie decided to kill him anyway. She kind of put Beau to the task of doing it as Beau was about to plunge, or just plunging the dagger into the heart of the mayor here. He had died. The venomous dagger that was covered in poisons and things had already spread through his body, and he sort of choked up and died. in doing that, Ellie had an experience right at the very end of the episode where she saw her own hand kind of suffer an odd sort of necrosis. The hand looked dead and withered, and then she saw a woman appear before her as if it was sort of pulled out from her own body, a complete stranger, and then Ellie essentially falls to darkness, and we smash to black as the episode ended. So, with that, let's pick up again where we left off. We are going to join Suuna first at, Suuna and Aura, although Aura is unconscious, so do with that what you will. KPP. And Alvin. The two of you have just finished with this fight, and grabbed Aura's unconscious body and dragged her inside of her house. There's some damage to the outside of her house, but there isn't anything crazy like fire or anything like that. The rain that was falling comes to a sudden halt almost as soon as you delivered the final blow. To symbol, the rain stopped and the snow continued to fall. But it leaves the kind of the earth outside strange and mushy. There's a lot of slush, and as you push through the doorway and rush inside, you're bringing in a lot of slush and mud and things, but I'm sure no one cares, because you are holding Aura. I'd imagine you bring her to her bed and lay her into it. You can see that she's alive, but something also sort of appears to be wrong. The quick patch that you've done to her in the field here with like the healing kit doesn't appear to have been enough. Alvin is out of magic healing, and she's got these two very severe puncture wounds, one in her leg and another in her abdomen. And there's a lot of blood. So you're bringing in this snow, this water, and this blood.
I would not put her on the bed. I would put her on the dining room table, actually, so she's close to the kitchen. I know that's awful, but...
Okay, yeah. I don't know, is that table big enough for that? How big is your table in this place?
It's like a round table, but it would be enough to like lay somebody on, an average-sized person.
Okay, yeah, so it's a big enough family table. So yeah, I think probably you clear the things off and lay her onto this table in the middle of this front room of this cottage. There's a lot of blood, and it's seeping out of both of these wounds. It's you can see that her clothing, where it's green and stuff, is turning like a muddied brown and red. It's not like rushing out. She's not like losing way too much blood, but she's definitely still bleeding too much for the wounds that you've somewhat like kind of quickly dealt with. Alvin is probably freaking out and just kind of running around.
Right.
And
Alvin, go get some hot water. Put the water on the stove and start boiling it. Get it nice and hot, and get the instruments right next to it. Anything that we can cauterize her wounds with.
Okay.
Do you understand what that means?
Kurt's is what?
Just a blade. Here.
What?
And then I take her sword. I take Aura's sword, and I kind of like hand it over to him.
it's fucking huge, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like the Buster
I don't
sword.
know if I can lift it.
Okay.
So I try, or I slide it over.
Yeah.
Take this. We're going to heat it up, and we're going to close her wounds this way. And then
He brandishes his own short sword.
that'll work. Absolutely. And then hot water, and then lots of towels.
Okay, I'll do it.
He runs over to the kitchen. It's like only a few feet away from you, and you see him messing around with the stove. He takes out like I don't think you probably have any matches or anything. You probably got some old school stuff going on in a cottage on the outside of this village. It's not exactly the big city, so he probably starts messing around trying to light the fire on the stove. And he starts frantically running around.
There's no water. I have to go get a bucket of it.
Just grab a bucket of snow. Just boil it first. Just boil it first.
He leaves the a fire going on the stove there with the sword laid along the top. It starts to heat up, and he runs outside with a bucket in hand. And you can hear him kind of messing around with it. Aura is probably not looking too great. You can see these wounds. What do you think you did with this healing kit? Because you wouldn't have had time to like actually do anything amazing here. Probably just applying some sort of pressure and maybe quickly bandage. I doubt it was like sutured or anything like that. So
her wounds were, you said, on her thigh and her chest.
Yeah, like lower abdomen, kind of somewhere around where one side maybe.
Oof. If I didn't really have time to do anything, I probably just maybe squeezed it shut and was trying to keep it from opening up. So it's probably a really horrid stitch job.
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
I'm so sorry, Aura. 21. Oh, maybe it's better than I thought.
Nice. Yeah, do you want to give me another medicine or an investigation check to see what you know about puncture wounds?
Sure.
Big, bad puncture wounds, not little ones. 6. Not a lot. I don't think you've ever really had to deal with like a big lance type puncture wound. Maybe you feel at the edges of your memory having to deal with stuff like this in the past, but you don't remember what you were taught. Whether it's something you've dealt with before and you've forgotten, or whether it's something you've just never learned. I don't think you're too sure. However, you were trying to just apply pressure.
Did
you say
or now?
Yeah, with the 21.
Yes, I'm trying. So I rush over to the chair where I was, reading my novel last night, and my blanket is still there. So I grab that quickly and I run over to her, and I'm putting pressure on the wound to stop the bleeding. That's my first priority.
Okay. Yeah, there's a clattering as you hear Alvin come running back in with the bucket. He runs over to the stove and says,
Which is it first, the water or the knife?
You have to boil the water, and then we're going to put the water on her wound after it's cooled a little, and then we're going to use the knife.
But
you need to make sure the water boils, Alvin. It has to be clean. We can't just pour dirty snow water into her wound, all right?
He lifts the bucket up quite high, and the stove is like higher than he is. He's like maybe 3 feet tall, and you see him he's like a child, but he moves. He's an adult, but he looks like the size of a child.
Can I levitate it? I see him struggling. Can I help?
Well, he looks like he's struggling, but he does it
okay.
proficiently.
Wonderful.
It looks at first, you get these flashbacks maybe of like children trying to do things.
Oh,
but
my children.
He's oddly capable because he looks like a child, but he's actually an adult. And he puts the bucket on top of the knife, and he looks over the knife and says,
When does this have to be done? Is it like this?
Yes, that's perfect. Nice and red hot. Now pull it off. Don't let it touch anything else.
He hands you the sword.
Okay, I'll hang on to this, and as soon as that water is ready, you let me know.
All right. So you guys wait for a decent amount of time. This water has to melt and then boil.
Yep.
Aura is probably you can see. I mean, Aura's pretty pale as it is.
Was I able to stop the bleeding?
It is, yes. I wouldn't say you've stopped the bleeding, but you can see that by applying pressure, it's stemmed the flow to a degree. The wound is still not closing or anything.
Right.
It's still open.
Was there anything weird about this now that I know it's, symbol?
You want to give me an investigation check?
Yes.
Are you looking at the actual wound?
Yes. 9.
Not too sure. You're looking it over. You get the sense that there is something wrong. The wound is oddly. oddly presented. It looks strange. It doesn't just look like flesh that's been torn. It looks almost like it's being held open. Not entirely held open, but there are points where it looks like as if you were to maybe grab some string and then kind of pull at edges of the skin. There are like little parts that look like they're bent in oddly and at a strange angle. And even though you're putting pressure on this thing, it's still kind of open. There's definitely something up with it, but you can't see what it is. Alvin is looking at Aura's face, and you can see that she's when you brought her in, she was sort of grimacing in an unconscious way, but now her face has fallen quite slack, and the skin is starting to look a little ashen. Alvin turns to you and says,
Is she gonna be okay?
We're gonna try. Yeah, she's gonna be fine, Alvin.
Shall I
She's
get
gonna
a
be
doctor? I can get you to town pretty quick.
Yes, if you after you bring that water over, yes, you run to town and get a doctor.
He grabs a towel, runs over to the water bucket, lifts it off the top, brings it over to where you are, and puts it down next to
perfect.
you.
That's absolutely perfect.
He starts unloading all of his stuff because he has like a
Yes.
bag full of stuff. He's always carrying multiple things. He has a crossbow, a bow, the short sword, and things like that. So he takes off his scabbard, he takes off his bags and things, and he says,
Oh shit! I need money.
In that bag over there.
How much money do you have?
It's not my bag. I'm pointing to Aura's bag
How
because I
much
have
money
none.
do you have, Aura? Aura had
I
a
don't
life
have-
savings last time, but
Yeah, I have in total. Oh man. 35 gold.
okay. So and that's all in the one pouch of some sort that you have?
Yeah, it's like probably in my shoulder bag in like a tiny pouch.
Yeah. Alvin like scrambles through, grabs the pouch, looks in and says,
Okay, this should be enough. Shall I get anything else?
What? I'm sorry, what?
Shall I get more things? What else should I do?
Just go get a doctor, Alvin. Quickly.
He turns around and he runs out the door, and you see him just moving. He moves pretty quickly for his small stature, and he starts sprinting down towards town.
Aura, hang in there. Wake up. I'm going to smack her face a little bit. See if I can wake her up.
She does not wake up. She's completely out of it. What do you do next?
Can I try to use my decelerate? My time magic?
What are you trying
To
to do?
slow her death down?
Let's see. You can,
Okay.
and I think you do.
Okay.
Tell me how it looks.
Well, I think when I slap her face and she doesn't really react and she's getting paler, even though she's already pretty pale, I think I just take a deep breath because I feel different. I feel differently than I used to. And this magic comes out gently, not shadow magic, but it's white, and it goes into her cheeks and maybe adds a little bit of warmth into her cheeks that spreads down into her skin, just a little bit, not a lot. And I'm just trying to slow the process of whatever's happening to her down until I can figure it out.
What is your
No, it's
spellcasting?
unnatural.
Charisma?
Yes.
Give me a charisma check. Just a flat charisma check.
15.
So the scene in here, like, you do successfully kind of cast this thing. You harness this magic. The symbol of the hourglass appears on the back of your hand. This white light shines a little bit, and you slow down this.
Sure, it's okay. I have you.
This wound.
How could I let anything happen to you?
But it's really hard to do. I
Okay.
think you start to strain to hold on to it for any longer than maybe 30 seconds. After about 6 seconds, it becomes really difficult to keep holding this slowed stasis thing that you're trying to do. After 15, it becomes noticeably difficult, like when you're trying to cast a really high-level spell or something like that. By about 30 seconds, you have no choice but to let go.
I will stop at 15 seconds. I'm no good to her, broken and dead. So yeah. I just stop then if it becomes too difficult.
It's something that you feel like is possible. Like you can train in this and make it better, but you can't do it right now.
I'm just not very adept in it. All right.
So technically you do slow it, but not for too long.
Well, then I would like to pour some of the hot water now on her, which I know is very, very hot, but I hope it's not boiling anymore. I don't want to burn her, but I do want to clean that wound as much as possible. And then I am going to try to cauterize it with the sword.
Okay. I think give me another medicine check. In fact, give me 2 medicine checks.
Can I have advantage for a medicine kit in exchange if I ditch one?
For pouring water and cauterizing with a
medicine kit?
I don't think you're using the healing kit to do it. You're just hoping that you do it correctly.
18.
18's good. That's for the water. As you again take these towels or whatever you were using away, you can see these wounds clearly. Again, they
cannot heal.
They lie open and they won't close, even in that natural way that you will find flesh just kind of returns to a state before. It looks oddly open, and you clean these wounds. There's probably like a very minor shuffle from aura as this water hits the abdomen, and then the water rushes out across the floor, and you see the wound clean for a moment. You get that moment where all the blood and clothing is clear, and yeah, you see that odd thing as if it's being held back by little hooks or something. Then you're going to try and close it with the sword or not?
If I am noticing that the skin is pulling apart, I think I try to, because I already rolled for it. So what I do is I do try to close the wound with my hands and bring the blade in, and with just the edge of the blade, I do try to cauterize a bit, and I'm assuming it doesn't work. There's something magical holding her wound open.
You can see that it cauterizes some parts of it. You can see that it seems to have done something.
But there's something wrong here.
Yeah. It does. It. I would say, if, for want of a better phrase, it half works.
Okay.
You can see that it does do some of it, but you can also see that it's being held. Some of the flesh is being held apart by what you like. If you were to describe it any other way than invisible string, I don't know how else to describe it.
Can I don't know if this is possible. Can I use my dark magic to see it? This string?
Which dark magic?
The one I was born with.
Just innately?
Yeah. The one that's under my sheet is just dark magic.
I just wondered if you were trying to access something in particular, specific over over general.
The stuff I'm hesitant to use. That stuff, my eyeball. My one bad eye.
I think give me a charisma check again.
13.
Now give me either an arcana or an investigation check.
Okay.
Just that. You don't get advantage.
12.
So you now will see something. How you see it, what we see happen to you, or how it is brought to your attention is up to you. But what you can see are these little They look like barbs, almost like fishing hooks. Much smaller than an average fishing hook. I don't know if you know, but they're very, very small little thing, like a few millimeters across. These tiny little barbs. They don't look metallic. They don't look like they would have come off of the partisan, but they do have these wisps of smoke coming off of them, and they're like, they look like little bits of dirt at first, and then maybe you realize that they're almost smoking. Tiny little barbs of black and grey with little almost like a minuscule matchstick or something like that that's just been put out. You can see this smoke coming off of them. You can see 2 in the leg and 3 in the abdomen, very small, just on the edges of where the wound is. And maybe you can see through the blood for a moment. You get a flash of these things as you access whatever this is to you.
So what it would look like is Suuna is looking through her left eye, which is completely blackout, and it's kind of like focusing when you are either crossing your eyes. It's something similar like that. It kind of fades out, and then she can see something else when she's doing this, and now she can see the barbs, and they've got everything kind of has a little bit of that shadowy wisping coming off, kind of like steam that you can see. And can I touch it? Can I pull it out?
They're extremely small. If you're trying to do it with your nails or whatever, you can probably do that. I don't know if you're using an instrument of some kind.
Well, I just want to see if I can touch it. Can I? Is it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a physical little thing.
Oh, fuck yes. I'm going to try to pull that out.
Okay, give me 2 sleight of hand checks.
Okay.
1 for the abdomen, 1 for the leg.
22.
You sit and do this. Yep. Second one.
6.
So the abdomen, you can see them very clearly at the top of the flesh here. You reach in, your hand as steady as you can make it, and you can pull this little barb out, almost like a thorn, something like that, like a cactus.
Does it disappear when it's out of her?
It does, almost instantly. As soon as you remove this thing,
all right,
they quickly turn entirely into a shadowy sort of mist and vanish. Then you get the next one, same thing. When you do that, you can see now that the wound returns to a sort of normal state. It closes almost, and the wound doesn't seem as bad. As soon as you remove these things, this wound already oddly appears to you as if it wasn't quite as big and dangerous, not quite as open as it was before, not as raw. And
will she survive if I leave the one in her leg?
Give me an Arcana check again.
I'm sorry to ask all these questions, but
it's perfectly fine.
5.
You don't know what these things are, what they represent, so I don't think you know the effect that they're having, other than that they seem to be impacting how badly this wound is, and the fact that it seems to be keeping it open. I don't think you know what the long-term effects of what these little barbs do.
All right. And the second one, I assume I can't get out of her leg, correct?
I'd say you can get, of the 3, you can get 2 of them out. You get 2 out, they return to mist, but there's one that's in quite deep. And you'd have to, without, you're not able to do it deftly. I won't force you to fail there with it being like, you kind of like shove your hand into an open wound. I would have to dig my
fingers into her. Okay.
Yeah.
I look around. Does she have anything, fine instruments? Any needles for knitting or anything?
Aura?
My mom would have knitted, so there might be like a dusty bag of yarn and knitting needles maybe up in the loft next to like a couch up there.
Do you have like, what are those little, I mean, you also have a lot of botany tools, right?
I do. I have an herbalism kit.
Not you, Aura. She's probably got some hardcore stuff in the house, like little leaf trimmers and things like that. I can't remember what they're called. I'm so bad at botany. Keys and needles. No, tweezers and things like that, you know?
Yes. Yeah, there's like a little table that has all those like little germination glass jars and like little tiny, like you said, tweezers and small scissors and.
Oh, perfect.
Botanists
So there'd
have
be a
like the
bunch of that.
perfect surgical equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think probably, in fact, you know what? Give me roll me a d20.
All right.
See where they are in the house and whether Aura keeps them to hand.
18.
She does. Where are they, Aura? Because they're nearby, or at least
When I glance over,
you know
probably
where
in
they
the
are.
kitchen somewhere.
Yeah, like in the kitchen, there's like a small space with a giant window between the fire stove.
Yes.
What's that called? Like, yeah, the fire. Okay,
hearth?
the stove and
And the stove,
yeah.
the kitchen. And so there's just like this little wooden table with lots of glasses and little tiny tools on it, right
There they
underneath
are.
the window.
Okay, so I probably trembling a little bit now at this point because using that time magic is really tuckered me out. I kind of stumble over to the window and I'm moving my hands and probably knocking things over, and I'm trying to rush and get these instruments that I need. And then I hurry back over to Aura with the little tweezers and potentially some scissors. And I'm going to try with the instruments to get this last thing out here.
All right, give me a sleight of hand check with advantage this time.
All right, hang in there, Aura. Try to get this out.
Oh. You do it successfully. I think as you...
There's the advantage. It's 18.
Oh yeah, you then you do it fine. You bring
Okay.
the little tweezers down. You maybe use one of the other instruments to sort of hold some of the flesh, the wound open a little bit, and you're able to very deftly and quickly bring out this final barb. As you bring the thing up, you see it once again turn to mist, and when you look back towards this wound, you can see that it is doesn't look quite as bad. It doesn't look quite as bad. It looks like something that now is very
I
deal
can
withable with your
My healing kit.
yeah.
Okay. Then I think as I'm pulling this last bit out, I think of the time that my daughter probably stepped on something sharp and I had to pull it out of her foot. And so I think I'm getting a memory like that when I'm working with Aura here. And then once that's out, I just take a deep breath and I look at her wounds, and then I reach for my bag and grab my healing kit and I go to work.
All right, and that is where we sideswipe across town once again to young Beau. Beau, you the last we saw of you, you were plunging the dagger into Mayor Pyreheart's chest. I think from your perspective here, we see you do this, and you see his face curl into a grimace. He kind of isn't fully looking at you. He seems to be more fixated on Ellie for a moment, when his face contorts into a strange grimace, and then he chokes up a considerable amount of very sort of dark blood. It runs down his chin and onto his chest. He lets out a long breath and then falls slack in his chair. As you turn around, you now see Ellie, but she's laying on the ground and she appears to be unconscious. I don't think you even heard her kind of fall. It's just an instant situation. Like, you turn and she's already on the ground. There's no one else in the room, but you do hear this sort of muffled commotion going on upstairs. You can hear these voices saying, "What? What's going on? Who could have done this? It's a ghost. I'm telling you, it's a ghost. Everyone's dead. The mayor, quick! Check on the mayor!" And then you can hear people moving around. You're down a single set of stairs that was down a sort of tower, and doesn't appear to be any way out of this room other than the way you came in. The tower leads you back up to the main hall, and then you follow that hall around and down towards the front entrance where you've left a sum of money by the front door. What do you want to do?
Well, let's see. Okay. I can still cast one more invincibility. So I'm gonna grab Ellie and cast it.
Okay. So, invisibility gives you the ability to make something that you're carrying invisible as well, which is something that I dealt with in another campaign at some point, and I can't remember whether the rules were that you can or you can't make them invisible, but I'm going to go with you can, because everything you're carrying, anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible, and I think it's fair to say that you can do this. However, you do have to pick up a whole body. Give me an athletics check. An 8. You head over to where Ellie is, and looking down at her, you can see that she just looks like she's in a deep sleep. Her skin is very pale, far paler than you recall her having. She looks bloodless, kind of that kind of like sheet white. Her hand, you can see, is curled in a strange way. The odd inky mark that she had, it appears withered, and her hand appears blackened and necrotic, almost like the hand of a corpse. But other than that, she seems to be pretty much the same. Slightly splayed out, just outside of one of her hands is one of her daggers on the ground, and you go to lift her up. And I think you struggle. You struggle to lift her for the moment. Maybe you lean in an odd angle and you stumble. As you stumble, you kind of drop her back onto the ground, and you hit the far wall. You can then suddenly hear some footsteps coming downstairs. Quickly! You are invisible. She is not.
Okay, well, dang it. Okay. But so anything that I touch, though, becomes invisible too.
Kind of, yeah. I feel like you have to be like at least fireman carrying Ellie for her for it to spread to her. If you're just touching stuff, it doesn't turn it invisible.
Oh boy.
Otherwise, everything would suddenly turn invisible around you.
Oh God, right. So they're coming. I'm gonna give it one last go before they come down.
Sure, give me another athletics check. Just. You lean down, grab her, lift her up, and I think we probably see you kind of struggle to lift her upwards onto you, and you're probably not holding at her at a particularly cool angle. You're not like, you haven't like whipped her into a fireman's carry. You're not holding her like a baby. You like kind of just pick up this fully grown adult half-elf woman. Although she's relatively lithe, it's still like a big, completely dead weight person. You bring her up like that. You two both vanish as as three men rush into the room. You see them. They're the Pyreheart's men in their bowler hats and their big black cloaks. Two of them have pistols. They have these revolvers that are held out. They run into the room. Another third man runs in with a short sword drawn. Two of them run in and look around. One looks straight over towards the mayor and says, "Oh no. What the fuck just happened? They got them all. That's everyone." The second guard, This is evil. This is something we can't control. I'm telling you, it's a ghost. It's not a bloody ghost, alright? It's some sort of attack. I don't know why, though. Where the fuck is Vizlon? I don't know, but we gotta get out of here. Place is cursed. Place is cursed. And he runs up the stairs. Two of them move over towards the mayor and begin discussing. They're looking at him. You can hear them talking. They're turned away from you. Oh, this is awful. He's been stabbed in the chest, but what is that? Look like he choked on something. Oh, fucking hell. Well, they've been stabbed, so that rules out a ghost, doesn't it? But who's done this? You reckon they're still here? One of them turns around. I don't know. We should, Right, we've got to find Vizlon, and we'll have to do a sweep. Wait, who's even paying the bills anymore? I don't know, alright? But people are dying. I don't want to be next. So let's find out. And they start looking around the room. You are like against a back wall here with like a completely knocked out Ellie over you like a giant child. What do you want to do?
Oh God. Well, I don't want to as to make a noise. I don't know if the floorboards will creak or anything. I'm even trying my best not to make to breathe too hard either. Even though I'm carrying Ellie. Did she put on some weight? Anyway, hell. I'm thinking maybe just another few more minutes of holding her. Maybe they'll be convinced that they gotta get out of here.
Yeah, you just stand still. I must say, give me another athletics check with advantage because you're not doing anything. She's already up. You're just holding her, but you've still got to, kind of hold this fully grown person still. 22. Fear has given you the adrenaline that you need as you hold this body. You remain completely still. There's no floorboards creaking or anything like that. The two men are maneuvering around the room. You see one of them say, well, I suppose we'll have to come back for him, yeah? Yeah. Right, hang on, what's that? One of them moves over to like exactly where you are. They look what feels like straight at you, and then they look down on the ground at the knife that was left outside of Ellie's hand. One of her several daggers. She has an endless amount of them, seemingly. It's not the one that was used to that you were given to puncture him with. You still have that, but it is just another one of her daggers. And they look down. Look at that. Picks it up. Look, the knife. Right. Well, don't touch it, because that's what. Well, now it looks like they're gonna think you done it. You know what I mean? Because your hands have touched it and that. Oh, shit. Yeah, well, I don't know about that. Well, ain't we the police? Well, sort of, but not really. What if they send the army? If they send the army, we're in real bad trouble, you know what I mean? Why would they send the army? Because they always send the army when we can't deal with it. Well, what do? I say we just fucking leave. Leave? Where the fuck are we going to go? Solver. Let's go to Solver and get on a ship. And then where are we going to go? Who gives a shit? All right. Look, yeah, you're right. Come on in. And they move out of the room and head up the stairs, leaving you alone down here. You can still hear people moving around during this entire time. There seems to be a decent amount of commotion from upstairs, but it slowly begins to die down. A minute or so after these guys leave, you can hear people moving around still. It doesn't seem like the house is completely empty. These guys had staff. They had like chefs, they had butlers, they had a lot of these men that patrol the grounds and act like their own private little militia. But it's pretty quiet after about a minute or so of them leaving.
All right. Well, if that's the case, I think I'm ready to start making a move. But before I go, I try to inspect the room. More or less the mayor's body to see if the Ellie's venom dagger is still in him.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can have it if you wanted to have taken it out of him.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna take it with me because I know Ellie loves that.
You got it.
More importantly, before I leave, I'd like to check on her status. Is she okay?
Yeah, give me a medicine check. Lots of medicine checks today. $14. What do you think Beau knows about medicine? What kind of knowledge would he have? Essentially, she looks like she's in a coma. That's what it looks like to you. She's entered a sleep, a long-term sleep. You used to be able to cast the spell sleep, right? This is one of the things that you would understand. It almost looks like that. I would say you recognize this maybe to be something either akin to the magical sleep spell, or somebody who maybe is a coma patient, someone who's gone into a long-term sleep. You hear these stories. I don't think there would be too many coma patients because they don't have the technology to keep coma patients alive. But with using magic, and certain clerics can keep people in comatose states, and you'd be aware of those sorts of people. And this is what it looks like. Like, she looks asleep. but it seems like such a deep sleep that and an extremely unnatural one. You can attempt to wake her up if you want to try. But you can tell pretty much off the bat that this looks like an unnatural kind of sleep, whether it's like a poison or something like that. You know, also she was hit with a dose of sleeping something recently.
That too. Yeah, at most I'll probably be able to read her pulse, and it's not looking so good. It's very weak. So I'm gonna get her out of here as soon as I can. So I start making my way up those stairs.
All right. So you're both invisible. You start moving up the stairs. You've got her probably in some sort of fireman's carry at this point, something a little more comfortable, and you heft her up. You're not necessarily a weak person or anything, but it's still not easy to do regardless. You maneuver up this spiral staircase. It takes you up to the hallway, and you get a better ear for people moving around. You can hear the same kind of conversations coming. It seems like there's a group of about 4 people. A little further down the hallway to your left, as you come to the doorway, you can hear them saying stuff like, "What are we gonna do? Who's gonna pay for all this stuff? What do you mean, who's gonna pay for the stuff? What if we're next? Where are we gonna go? We live here. I don't know. Maybe we could just go to town. Can we find some coins and go to town? We could stay at the inn. Yeah, let's just go to the inn." You hear them scurry past the doorway as you stand backwards naturally before realizing once again that you're invisible, and you see 4 people move past, and these appear to be working staff. 2 of them just look kind of like average common working folk. One of them appears to be the one of the chefs that was working here, and the other was like a younger man, maybe like a stable hand or something like that. And they kind of hurry past you and head towards where the exit is. After that, it falls quiet again. Doesn't seem like there's anyone too nearby.
All right, as soon as it gets quiet again, I start making my way up some more. I know this place was down a few flight of stairs, so it's going to be a long way up.
Yeah. Let me roll 1 dice. You make it up to the top floor, or the ground floor, whatever the floor is. The first floor, I don't know, American versus English translations of ground floor, first floor, and stuff is all different. Yeah, you come out to like a wide, long hallway, and it's the hallway that you've been down this with Vizlon. You had as you come out of this doorway to your left and move down, there's another tower at the back of the manor that leads you down towards where you took the gold bars from, the treasury of the manor house. Towards the right, you head down the hallway, do another right, and it's a straight shot for the front doorway where you left the chest of gold. Doesn't appear to be anyone here, by the way. You can give me a perception check, actually.
All right, yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
$22. Yeah, there really doesn't appear to be anyone in this hallway at all. You can tell that the main doors, those front doors, appear to be open. You can hear the rain. It's raining outside. It's extremely odd. It's very cold. There's a wind that seems to be moving down the hallways, and you can hear this rain hitting the snow outside. There's like a thunderstorm happening. Other than that, there is no other sounds. It seems like everyone is either left or they're elsewhere.
All right. Well, seeing that the coast is clear, I'm gonna attempt to snag the big loot as well.
Yeah, give me another perception check or an investigation check.
Oh God. Okay.
$19. So you move down the hallway. You've got Ellie in tow, kind of moving along, starting to maybe make your shoulder ache as you push through this hallway. You can see that a lot of the doors in this place have been opened. It seems like there was some sort of a commotion. Almost all of the doors that were closed when you first came in appear to have been opened up in the semi-chaos. At the front door, you can see that both of the double doors are open, and you can see out, and You can see now this this rainstorm that's hitting, but you can also see the snow has been kicked up. It looks like lots of footprints have headed out and have headed straight towards the main town. At the door, there is where you left the chest. It's gone. As you get closer, you can see what looks like a drape or a curtain that's been pulled down. And in fact, the chest is underneath it, as if somebody hid the thing. Lifting it up, you can see the chest is there. Lid closed.
Oh, God. Well, I guess I'm going to investigate and see what's left of it.
All right, yeah, you lift the lid up. Inside, you can see that 4 of the gold bars have been taken. However, the rest appears to be in there. The gold previously was, not including the 24 that were coins, the actual gold bars, there was 850 gold pieces worth. Now you can see that it equates to around 650 gold pieces. Vizlon probably took the 4.
All right, well, seeing that's still quite a hefty amount there, I'm not going to let that go. However, I would like to leave some behind for these people, too.
Okay, how many do you want to leave?
I'm going to set aside an additional 10 for everybody left here.
Okay, 10 gold bars. Hang on, they're worth 50 gold bars each. Let me remind myself of the calculation because I didn't write it down correctly. I wrote it down in amount. Okay, so you have 13 gold bars in there. Oh my god, what have I done? I clicked a button, sorry. Everybody. I think it might have paused the stream. No, it didn't. Yeah, there are 13 gold bars in there. This one has taken 4.
Okay, so there's only 13 left in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, okay. All right then, well, maybe that changes a little bit, because we're probably gonna need that. All right, I'll leave another 3 behind.
Okay, so...
For the staff and for the people here.
Yeah, and you leave 3. Okay, so you've got 10 in there.
I'll take the 10 with me.
Alright, so I'm going to need another athletics check, because now you're trying to carry Ellie and a chest full of 10 gold bars. Trying to do some barbarian stuff, and you do it. I think you get to finally do the hench Roshi thing, where he kind of gets all big and strong. You summon up some energy, hefting once again Ellie over one shoulder, and I don't know whether you're carrying under one arm the chest, but you start to head out of the front door here, and as you start to move outside, the rain begins to stop. In fact, it stops pretty quickly. Within the first few steps of you heading outside into that mush, the strange half snow, half rain, the rain stops entirely, but the snow continues to fall. Where are you headed to?
All right, well, I'm probably going to head over to Aura's house. That's going to be quite a long trip, too.
Yeah. Let's see here. So, you start making your way towards Aura's. Really, the way to Aura's house is back down into where the town is, the village. You are north of the village. She lives west of the village. The quickest, you could try and cut through the forest, but you don't know whether that would work. You can attempt it if you'd like, or you can head down into the town and then back up the hill, which is the route that you know and is the route that you took here twice.
Yeah, I'd probably take the route I'm more familiar with. So I'll head through town first, in case I see somebody familiar too, that may have seen them.
Mm-hmm. You head into town. Give me a perception check. As you maneuver into town.
Yikes,
okay.
That's a 7.
Then give me another perception check. Okay, so you don't see him, but you do see someone else. As you're moving into town, you probably look around. It doesn't seem like there's too much of a commotion on the outskirts of town, but you do maybe avoid, like the center of town is where the square was, where the market and the armorer and the tavern are. On the outskirts of town, it's just houses and stuff like that. They all seem to be just kind of going about their business. There's a lot of people that are very confused about the quick rain shower that happened and the weather. You probably walk past some old farmer who has no idea that you're there. Strange, what was that then, eh? As he starts moving along. First the snow, now the rain. What the heck's going on there? Global warming, I say, as he moves further into the town. You get to the point where you can see the crossroads that takes you west and back up towards where Aura lives. Give me one last athletics check just for this journey, because this is going to be exhausting. 6. You get to the point, I think, where you need to rest.
Yep.
You're that thing, when you're holding up something and the lactic acid kicks in and you just can't do it anymore. Your arms are failing you, your body's failing you. You absolutely have to rest before you do this last little trek up a small hill and an incline towards Aura's house. How would you do that? You're still well within. It's only maybe been about 10 minutes or something. But you're well within the invisibility hour. But you do now absolutely need to stop or you're going to fall.
Agreed. I'll make my way towards the inn and sneak into a room that's vacant.
Going all the way to the inn?
Oh, is that far?
It's pretty far. It's
okay.
You need to figure out a way to stop now, I think, as at this crossroads before you fall over. Basically, is the issue. You're gonna fall. You're gonna drop Ellie and the gold.
Okay. Well, I make my way to a nearest tree, so we have some shelter.
Yeah, I think you do that. You see a decent looking kind of oak tree. You get behind it a little bit, drop the chest down, and then maybe rest Ellie up against the side of the tree. She appears, the chest appears, but you do not. Maybe you sit down and hunker onto the chest a little bit. And in the distance, you can hear this voice shouting wildly, saying,
Where's the doctor? Where is he?
You hear another voice saying, "Don't bother. Don't go up there, alright? There's a ghost. I'm telling you. It's a bloody ghost. You're probably better off leaving town."
A ghost? I need to see him.
You recognize the voice of Alvin, and he starts to push this larger man out of the way. As you look around the tree, you can see that it's one of the men from the building, and he looks down and shakes his head at Alvin the gnome, and he starts to move up towards where the house is. He's got a very worried look on his face, and he starts to pick up his pace.
Oh, God. Well, I'm going to scurry off and try to chase Alvin down, even though he can't see me. I try to call out his name. Alvin! Alvin!
What? Who is it? Oh shit, it's a ghost. I'm sorry, okay? I don't like ghosts. I didn't mean it. Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Angels and ghosts.
Calm down, Alvin. It's okay. It's just, it's Beau. We met before. At the inn. I'm a friend of Aura's and Suuna's.
Oh, where are you?
Well, I'm actually right behind you.
He turns around very slowly, his eyes, which are already quite big, widening in his gnomish face. He looks beyond where you are and says,
Oh, I'm sorry. How did you die? Perhaps I can help you.
No, I'm really not a ghost. I uncast invisibility and I reveal myself to Alvin.
I think he visibly does like a jump scare as you jump scare him and appear out of nowhere.
You, a wizard.
Well, I'm not actually a wizard. I'm a bard, but
He runs forward and grabs you suddenly, looking up at you, saying,
Wait, you're a wizard. Can you cure people as Aura? She's in trouble.
Wait, Aura's in trouble. I've got Ellie here who's also in trouble. Where are they?
Angel.
Okay. Wait. Where are they? Where's Aura and Suuna?
house.
Okay, okay. Great. I'm actually gonna go there right now. I just needed a break.
Can you cure people?
That I can. I will do the very best I can. Just give me a moment. I just need to gather my things and get Ellie,
Right.
and we'll head there together.
Where's Ellie then?
Oh, I left Ellie by the tree over there, and I turned behind, hopefully still seeing everything in place.
Oh, shit. Is she dead?
No, she's not dead. No. She's very weak though. She's in like a sleep.
What the
I don't
fuck
know
is
what happened.
happening? You guys are crazy, you know that?
I'll explain everything when we get to Aura's house.
Okay.
There's no time to lose.
You
So in
want
a
me
hurry,
to
I
carry
rushed.
this box?
Oh, yes, if you can, that'd be amazing. Thank you.
Okay.
You see him heft it up.
It's heavy. What is in it?
That'll be a surprise for later. But for now, we should really hurry.
Okay. You can carry Ellie, yes?
Yes, that I can. Well, hopefully.
Can you lift her up with your mind?
No, that I cannot do.
Can you fly?
I wish. No. Okay. Well, anyway,
Okay.
let's
follow
head
you.
out. And I
Head
rush
on,
over
then.
to Ellie.
Have to be
What?
quick. We gotta be quick.
Yep, that we do. Sorry. Yeah, that must be heavy.
This is heavy.
Okay. And then I rush over to grab Ellie, and we make our way to Oris.
You head on up to Aura's. Aura, there is a decent amount of time between. And Suuna, sorry, everyone, all of you, all of the people in the stream, all of you are reunited after a little while. I think Suuna is done with whatever you're doing. Suuna, maybe you're aware now. Aura's like super not conscious, and you're probably not 100% sure whether she's out the woods or anything at all here. But you've done pretty much everything that you wanted to do previously. The wounds are definitely not as bad. Whatever magical barbs that were there, as far as you can tell, they're all gone. And the wounds are closed and somewhat dealt with. There's 15 minutes or so of you maybe washing up, cleaning, checking everything, when the door is kicked open, and in comes Beau and Alvin. Beau is carrying what looks to be the corpse of Ellie over one shoulder. She's extremely pale looking. She doesn't even look like she's breathing anymore. And Alvin is dragging at this point a chest as the door opens up and Beau walks in. Alvin is shouting,
Suuna!
Yes,
Wizard!
Oh, Beau, thank goodness. Can you help us?
Yes, is everything I heard about Aura? Are you all right?
Yes, I'm okay now, but she had some weird supernatural barbs in her leg that I managed to get out, but I can't seem to close the wounds any more than this. I could really use your help.
I'll see what I can do. And I rush over to Aura's body.
All right, Aura, hang in there. Beau's here. He's gonna fix you right up.
all right,
God.
what do you want to do?
Okay, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. 7 healing. Aura, you are healed for 7. But you do not wake up.
Oh God.
You, Beau, you cast this spell. How does it normally look when you do this?
Usually, well, seeing that she's in a critical condition, I don't even touch her body. I just raise my hands over her body and cast. However, I noticed, even though there's more color coming to her, she's not waking up.
Yeah, she,
Did it work?
For the most part, but I don't know. She's still.
Aura, sweetie,
This
Come
isn't
on.
looking good.
it's time to wake up.
Oh, give me an Arcana check.
Oh boy.
I'm patting her face and I'm splashing a little bit of cold water on her. Just a little, not like a tub, but it's on my hands and I'm patting her with my wet hands. All right, anyway.
So your spell that you use to heal people is working. The wound itself, you can see, has begun to knit together again. The way that the flesh closes up when this is cast. You're aware that this doesn't always work. The thing with curing magic is that it doesn't always fix things back correctly. If someone gets like stabbed in the heart and you cast cure wounds immediately, sometimes it can heal the wound wrong and just close a ventricle off. It depends how bad this trauma is to the flesh that the cure wounds works with. Taking this to another level though, and something beyond anyone's powers here, but not something that is outside of the realm of knowledge that you would understand. When people are extremely injured and are basically dead, there is no way to revive people. There is no res magic in this world. There's no all the spells that do things like raise dead, things like that. They're not in this campaign. They don't exist. Sometimes, and how you know this, sometimes people are too far gone for the curing to work, and it seems, I think to you at this point, that's where she's at. Whether it be that you need to just give it a little while longer, or whether it be that she's too injured and curing magic just isn't enough. You're not sure, but this is just, I'm giving you on that Arcana check all that knowledge as knowledge that you understand, and whether this is a situation that you understand from an experience that you've had before, or knowledge that you understand from learning or books or something. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Because normally when you cast these curing spells, it closes the wound and the person comes back to life, right? And it doesn't seem to be happening. And it also doesn't seem to be changing too much about her outwards appearance. Her shallow breathing, starting to get a little raspy. Yeah. And what do you do with Ellie as well? Where's Ellie right now?
Oh, right before I get it, right before I attend to Aura, I put her on the nice couch that Aura has near the fire.
Yeah. So I think you two now are stood there. Alvin's kind of out of breath, worriedly staring at Aura as well. And the two of you can see these two women with Aura on one side of you with this kind of this shallow, maybe rasping breath as she's laid on this table, and then Ellie behind you appears to not even be breathing at all at this point. She looks quite serene. Her skin very pale. Even her hair looks pale. The contrast of her dark clothing, that sort of shadowy assassin's outfit that she wears, against her skin, just extremely ashen white. And her blonde hair looking like white blonde hair as opposed to... Well, actually, no, her hair was red. And the color seems to be washing out of it while she's laying there. And she also has this hand. What do the two of you do now?
What's happened to Ellie?
Yeah, she, let's just say the curse activated, and I didn't even see what happened. I just saw her on the ground, and then her hand, it's like it's dead. I didn't get the chance to take a good look at her. I was in such a hurry to get back to you guys.
All right, that's understandable. Let's deal with one thing at a time. Can I? You first.
No, I would like to investigate her hand too.
Yeah.
Okay, both of you doing that?
Yeah. It's not a serious investigate though, because I'm still with Aura and she's like, I feel like she's dying and I don't think I would leave her side. But when she mentions her, I do look over and she's even specifically said her hand. So I would like to look.
Beau, give me an investigation with advantage then. So roll it again. We'll take the higher of the two. 20. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for? The investigate Beau's 20 is both of you combining your
okay.
Like, can I check for maybe even just the slightest pulse in that hand? If it's maybe still possible that...
Yeah, you're feeling the hand physically, holding it. It feels tough. The skin, when you quickly grab a part of her arm further up, the top of her forearm maybe, you can feel that the skin feels very cold, but not so cold that it's necessarily dead flesh. However, touching her hand feels freezing after being outside. The skin feels tough, leathery. It feels cold. It feels dead, and as you grip the wrist and feel around there for a pulse, no pulse at all. Grabbing her other wrist, sitting there for a moment, there you catch a very, very faint pulse. However, the dead hand for sure hasn't got one. It seems like a dead person's hand that has just been stuck on the end of hers, even though it's for sure her hand.
Well, this isn't looking good. I don't even know if what I did actually helped Aura.
It's all right. I'm taking a look now. May I use my medicine kit now?
Yeah. What are you trying to do with it?
When Beau did the healing, it helped aid the wound closing properly?
It seems to have practically closed the wound, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I will sew that shit up and just kind of like make sure she's okay and patch it up. Put some gauze on it.
Yeah. Alvin is on the other side of Aura, his wide eyes kind of just intently looking at her, and he looks up and says,
Is she gonna be okay? What can I do?
But you just hold her hand and keep talking to her. We need her to stay here with us. You're doing great, Alvin. Real great.
Aura, in the distance, you can hear voices. People saying things like,
Is she gonna be okay?
And Suuna saying, You're doing great. And you can hear Beau in the background saying stuff about Ellie. The curse mark, things like that. But it's all very distant, and I don't think it interests you at all. And that's where we're going to go to our break for the evening. Short break here. And then when we return, we will return to young Aura Oakfall. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to go pee, grab a snack, grab a coffee, take a deep breath, and then we'll return in a few moments to see what these guys do next. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Jumping back in with Aura. You, the last thing you recall is being hit by a partisan and falling before you even hit the snow. The wound, the pain, the damage caused you to black out. And then it all seems like a distant dream. You almost wake up, I think. You have that sensation of being of having woken up in your home. I would say you feel quite comfortable, but you for sure, if anything, feel relatively cold. The house around you, I would say it has lost a lot of its vibrance. But it's your home. Outside of the windows, you don't see the snow or the village or the forest. You see this sort of stretching plains land, like tall yellowed grass that's shifting in a breeze. And it spreads out endlessly. There's nothing that punctuates it. No hills, no trees, no rocks. Just this kind of stretching landscape, very flat, a plains land. And it looks like it might be the dead of night. And outside, the night sky is filled with far more stars than you've ever seen in constellations that don't make sense. But all of that still seems very distant to you. The longer you try to concentrate on any of these elements, I think the less interested you become. There are voices that you can hear at the edge of your mind, but they're in the distance too. And you're able to sort of move around this house, and I think maybe you take a few steps and look around. And it's for sure your house, and it seems familiar, but some of the decor is different. It's how you would remember it as a child, how everything looked when you were much, much younger. And even some elements that are very different. There's a bookshelf maybe that you remember from being young that isn't there anymore, or was replaced. There's like an old cooking pot that was thrown out years ago by you, but it sits clean and new on the stove. And as you turn around, the hearth is now lit. And above it, there's a portrait that you've never seen before. There are people in the portrait that you recognize, and it's the group that you've been traveling with, and they all stand together with you at the center of it. You're wearing a red hood and cloak. Suuna looks practically the same as always in her wraps and her shawl, and she's got her arms around you and Beau on the other side, and he's standing there pulling a silly face. His glasses are on his head with a sort of rare sight of his eyes while he's pulling this face and smiling. Ellie is standing there too with her arms crossed, slightly aside from all of you all. Her clothing has changed in the image, and she's wearing this like white cloak with this peaked hood that comes down quite far over her eyes. Underneath you can see that she has her blonde hair, the very rich blonde hair, not the red that came from the Oculus gack that seemed to have changed it since then. And the four of you are depicted in really great detail. This is like super masterwork painting. And the way that you're all standing is very friendly. You get a sensation that these people in this photo or in this painting are old friends. They're standing inside a great city. Maybe it's Bologna or somewhere like that to the south. And this big photo sits above this hearth. And while you're concentrating on it, you hear someone speak to you. "What are you doing here, daughter?" And as you turn around, you see your father. And he's sitting at this table that you've had since before you were born. And he's got this forlorn look on his human face, but he's sitting at the table and he's sharpening your sword, which was once his. And he looks it over. Before you can even answer, he looks down at it and says, "I thought I told you to take care of this."
Before I say anything, I want to look down at my hands. Do they look? Do I look normal? Do I have that time?
Chronomancy?
What is it?
Symbol?
Yeah, is that still on my hand?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's active. White.
Was there a mirror anywhere?
Nope.
Okay. I'll look at him very confused. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over to the table and sit down next to him. Because
Well,
I haven't seen him in a very long time.
he looks kind of, I think, as he trained you with sword and bow and survival techniques, things like that in the forest, maybe there were days where you just weren't getting it. Like he would have you fire an arrow, something that he knew that you could do, and you would miss the target. And although he was, loving and caring and generally a good father figure, he would get kind of, maybe sometimes he would get frustrated with you not living up to that ability. Whenever you would fire an arrow and do something that he knows you can do, and then you fail at it, he would have a certain look on his face. And I think he has that look as he looks across to you now. He puts the whetstone down, and pushes the sword into the center of the table and leans back in a chair, crosses his legs, and sits looking at you with this same face in a familiar way that he would sit when you were much, much younger. And he says, "Well, what are you doing here?"
I don't know. Where are we?
He looks towards the window and looks outside. "Well, you're home."
So are you.
"Nope." He sits forward again and says, "What are you fighting for?"
I would lean back in my chair because I'm in awe that I'm seeing my father. Can I do a perception check to see if I'm noticing anything off or odd?
Nope. You can't concentrate on much. I think you can feel... You know, like how you don't question anything in a dream until you're already awake?
Yes.
But even sometimes when you're having a relatively lucid dream, you still don't always have the ability to question intelligently what you're doing. I think you have that sensation. And maybe as that thought enters your mind, it also immediately leaves.
I'd lean forward and I'm going to reach for my father's hand and put my hand on his. I don't know.
Yeah. You're lacking conviction that what you do is right. Give me a death saving throw. You have advantage because Suuna applied pressure to the wounds.
So I have marks already. Should I clear those?
Yes.
Okay.
1 make. Okay. He says, while you're holding his hand, and by the way, you can feel it. He feels very real. You still feel kind of cold inside, but as he says that you lack conviction that what you do is right, you feel a pulse of life, a little warmer for a moment, as he says, "You should trust yourself, you know. And I don't mean you, I mean her." He points to the painting.
I'll look over. Do I see who he's pointing to?
Yeah, you see the figures that were in the painting before. And 3 of them dissipate and vanish from the image, leaving just you in there, the version of you that's in this red outfit.
I'll look over and see that, and I've been a little lost since you and Mom have been gone.
Right. But then, with this whole thing that you're involved in now, so you're still lost? Don't you have a purpose now?
I feel like I was thrown into something that I don't know what I'm involved with.
Then why are you fighting?
Because I'm supposed to?
Give me another death save, and you have advantage because Suuna cleaned the wound.
How do I add advantage? Because it doesn't give me the option
Just
to.
roll it twice.
2 times? Okay.
Yeah. 15, another make. He says, "You know, she did half of the work. She led them to their deaths. But they didn't fail. They achieved their goal under your protection."
You mean they die?
They're long dead, but you're still alive.
So I'm the only one that survives this?
Shakes his head. Gives you that look again. Look again. Looks up towards the image.
Okay. I'd look over at it.
That is not you.
I'd stand up and go over to it and get a closer look at it.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
4.
Look at your hand.
I look down at my hand.
Didn't you meet her when you got that?
This is me from another time,
Right.
another place.
They've already done everything they can do. They couldn't stop anything. But they gave you all the information you need. You might not know the path you're on, but she did. She trusted everything.
We were on our way to try to find Suuna's mother and figure out what our next step was.
Right, so what are you doing here?
That creature came back and they went black.
You need to fight.
Not run?
You were brought to us for a reason.
When he says that, what do you mean by us?
Your mother, me. We found
What was
you.
that reason?
We strove to preserve our world, nature, knowledge. Now you must do the same.
I stand a little taller. Is there a secret that I should know that'll help get us to the next step?
He leans back in his chair. You need to have confidence in yourself.
I will try.
We're very proud of you. We always have been and we always will be. Don't give up.
You can see Aura's trying to not get emotional. I've missed you.
We've been with you the entire time. Give me another death save, and this time you have advantage because the wound was cauterized.
17.
3 makes. The sounds of the room begin to shift and change, and you can hear the voices of Alvin and Suuna and Beau discussing things, something to do with magic not working, something to do with Ellie's hand, and the figure of your father starts to kind of just slowly stretch away from you, and the room itself begins to stretch away from you. The sun seems like it's rising outside, even though you can't see a sun. It does seem to be lightening the room, giving it more vibrance, giving it some more warmth. And he says, "Remember what you fight for. Come on, you're better than this."
If the room's stretching, can I still try to run towards him? Because I see that time stretching to give him a hug.
Yeah, I think you can as well. Like, you run forwards and he stands up and he hugs you, but as he grabs you, you feel small. And you hug him the way you used to when you were very, very young, like toddler small. And he lifts you up and he says, "You're pretty strong. You're stronger than we are. And next time," he puts you down. "When you get knocked down, get back up." And I think it's at that moment that you kind of choke awake in this room with the others. And if you look at your sheet, at the bottom on the right-hand side, of your abilities here, you have a new one, which is called Relentless Endurance, which you normally get if you're a half-orc in the game. If you could just read that for everyone.
Okay, relentless endurance is when you are reduced to 0 hit points, but not killed outright. You can drop to 1 hit point instead. You can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest.
Yes. So you have that now. You wake up.
Thank you. Okay.
I think, Beau, Suuna, whatever you're doing, at this point, you suddenly you notice, Aura wake up. Aura, for you, this should be extremely uncomfortable. You feel suddenly awful. You snap back to this reality where you probably have an awful headache. Your stomach, your leg really hurt. You probably feel a little sick, nauseous. You're uncomfortable as hell because you're laying on a table. You've been sutured. You've been someone's been plucking things out of you with tweezers. But the room feels warm and comfortable, and as you come to, you see the face of your mother looking down at you and the face of your father looking over you, and you glance left and you see Alvin, and as you look back, it's Suuna and Beau just looking down at you as you're kind of groaning and coming to. What do you guys do?
Aura?
Oh, thank heavens.
Oh, there you go. Are you all right?
What happened?
Oh, well, you got lanced by what I think is a symbol, maybe? I'm not sure, but you're okay now, and that's all that matters.
Oh,
wait. That's what happened to you guys?
Yes. What happened to you?
I mean, well, let's just say that that date Ellie went on, it didn't go swimmingly.
Oh, what do you mean?
The fella spiked her drink and put her
What?
to sleep, and he was gonna do some freaky shit to her. He was gonna like experiment on her.
We've got to kill him. And then I'm gonna try to sit up.
No.
Okay, careful. You might. I don't know if you have a concussion, Aura. So calm down.
Why are there holes in me?
Well, that's what happens when you get stabbed with a lance. Do you remember any of that?
I remember darkness.
We were gonna run, and then we didn't run, and then we were gonna run again, and then you got stabbed.
Yeah, how many times did I get stabbed?
Well, twice. That's why you have two spots there. Your abdomen, down on your left, right there. Yep. And then the other one is on your right thigh.
Okay.
Right there. Just be very careful. We don't want to tear that back open.
No, I'm gonna quickly scan myself and realize I have no magic left. So I'm like trying to muster up cure wounds on myself, but nothing's happening.
Alvin is like awkwardly tugging at you as well, and it's really probably hard to do anything he says.
I'm so sorry. I used to cure wounds on myself. You taught me how to do it. I didn't even use to help you. I thought you was gonna die.
I'm just glad you're alive, Alvin. And I put my arm on his shoulder and I kind of pull him in to hug him.
He passes out.
He passes out?
He passes out.
I'm gonna pick him up and pull him up on the table with me. I'm gonna try
Why did you let us do that? Okay, well, you shouldn't be lifting anything at all.
Why am I on the table?
Because we were in a hurry.
Can we rest for a little bit?
Absolutely. Would you like me to help you into your room?
Yeah. Where is Ellie?
Ellie's on the couch by the fire. I'll be tending to her. Don't worry. But yeah,
we'll take care of her as well.
You rest first.
Can I look over at the couch and see her?
Yeah, and you see the same thing everyone else does. She looks unbelievably pale. Her hair has got a strange pinkish tone to it, as if the color is draining out of it, as well as her face. She looks kind of dead. She looks serene on her in terms of her expression. She doesn't look like she's in pain or anything. She just looks like she's in a comfortable sleep. But her chest is not rising and falling or anything like that. Extremely pale. The color just with every moment seems to be leaving her hair almost.
I can see her hand.
And you can see that hand, yeah, for sure.
Did you ever to take the hand off?
What?
What?
Necrotic. It's rotting. There's this one guy in town. It happened to him too. We had to take it off from the shoulder.
We're not going to cut off her hand, Aura. We don't even know what happened to her.
Okay, well, it's just a suggestion. I don't feel very good.
Okay. Oh, all right.
And I'm gonna lean over the table and just vomit.
Yeah. You definitely probably have a concussion then. All right. You know what? I'm going to get a cloth and a bucket and we'll clean you up and then you can sit here by the fire. I don't think
I'll
you can
hold your
sleep
hair
yet.
back for you.
Thank you. I'll hold it back for you someday too if you need, Beau.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I brush off and I go get some, maybe a sponge from the bathroom, anything to kind of like help clean her up. And
Are you okay, Beau?
Oh, I'm fine, except for the fact that all the Pyrehearts are dead.
I can't help it. Like, I kind of smile. What do you mean? I can't be dead.
No, let's just say
They're
Ellie
like
was
unkillable.
really bad, and she went on a killing spree and killed every single one of them. Hence, well, why her curse? Well, yeah.
How did she kill them if she was poisoned?
Just about everything she does, stabbing at best. She did it all. Even poisoned one in his sleep. It's pretty nasty.
She killed all of them?
Every single one.
killed who? All right, I'm just going to put the sponge on you here. Can you take that off? Can you lift your arms up here? I'm not going to put you into bed in bloody clothes.
So,
Lift my arms up
nice and
like a little kid. Thank you.
What was that, Beau?
Ellie killed all the Pyrehearts.
Oh, good. That sounds like they deserved that.
Well, I must admit, yeah, but,
I feel like that's a joke. There's no way. There's so many of them, and there's all those guards. There's no way.
Well, how many are there?
There's a lot of Pyrehearts, and there were also lots of guards, but I managed to charm one of them and paid him off, and he was pretty all right with that.
At least 6. There might be more now.
6 Pyrehearts? She was only on a date with one. Why'd she need to kill everyone else?
Let's just say she got very mad.
Well,
very mad.
Sounds like they deserve
Temper that we need to worry about?
No. Anybody who's going to drug someone on a date deserves a lot more than well, actually, I don't know what she did, so I'm
He
sure
was
they
going to
deserved exactly what was coming.
Yeah, they were pretty nasty people.
Would I have known about his experimenting? Or have heard, like, rumors of it?
No, I don't think
Okay.
at all.
The little one, he was gonna do that?
Yep. It's pretty awful, too. I just got in the nick of time, I think. Well, it seemed like Ellie could take care of it herself. I came down, to find he was already dead. She managed to break free from her restraints. She was not happy.
What happened to her hand then?
That's the curse. I believe every time she killed, it just ultimately got worse, and I thought I had that last kill. I unfortunately struck the mayor, but I did it for her so that, it wouldn't have consumed her, but I don't know, there was like a weird aura in the room, and I look back and I find Ellie on the ground, and her hand all necrotic-like.
Would I have known of any dark magic like this that I had read in my books or that my mom had taught me about?
You can all give me a history or an arcana check, depending on which one you roll, depends on kind of whether you get a book knowledge or a magical
16
knowledge.
Arcana for me.
18 history for me.
However, I have already rolled for this once before. I don't know if that matters.
You haven't rolled for it since she came in though, or you have?
Right.
Yeah.
Nope.
This is like new developing
Okay.
bullshit, so you can roll again. Okay, so 18 on the history. Let me roll here. You probably do have books available that cover all sorts of things. Necromancy, witches, shadow magic, demonic, psychic, evil stuff. This, when you couple it with it being some sort of curse, sounds very much like necromantic stuff. It would be something like a hag's curse or something like that. Probably the type of thing that a witch or a hag would cast in an attempt to extend their life or something like that. But hags and witches are elusive and strange. For the most part, they're into soul stealing. They're fans of not necessarily in a demonic bargain way, but like a straight up, like, I'm going to steal and tear your soul from you and store it in my magical soul stone type thing. However, they do also extend their own lives by taking energy and life from others. If you were to guess at anything, you would say Ellie encountered a witch. The fact that she would encounter a witch at the Pyreheart Manor seems very strange. But this reminds you probably of information that you've found in books to do with witches and hags. I think is your first instinct on an 18. And it would be information that you've piled together from books. Finding limbs or people that have just been completely and instantly reduced to a necrotic state is almost definitely some sort of necromancy. And this is life stealing, is what it is. At least what's happened to her hand. The effect of the curse her hand no longer has any life in it. It's been taken from her. Whatever state she's in and why she's in it, you're not too sure, I don't think. But if you were dealing with anything in the world right now, it is witchy, hag, evil, magic. And that's aura on the 18 for the history check. Suuna on the arcana, I think probably a similar idea, but I think in more of a generalized sense. You know of magic that can just absorb life from people. Just take the life from someone, and it leaves them like this. What I will say is that you know she's no longer cursed. Curse is gone. Whatever the effect of the curse that was happening to her hand is over. This is the final thing. But the hand appears to be dead, but not necessarily spreading like it was, like Aura worried that it was spreading and she was slowly going to turn into a ghoul or something like that. And then Beau, I think you don't get any more information than you already kind of suspected with this stuff. But you are pretty convinced that she's in a sort of stasis. It seems like she's almost in like a hibernation, like an animal that sleeps through winter. That would probably be the information you can determine. I think for you specifically, Aura, it'd be like in the real world when we watch like a documentary about a particular type of murderer, and you're like, oh, this is how they always end up in those documentaries. They look like this. They're in like a weird death state with bits of their body dead. Literally just dead and magically ruined. So I think you have for some reason, at some point, someone had you read some books on witches and hags. And that would be the info.
You know something about Ellie? It could be two things. She could have gotten frostbite and it's turned into gangrene, or there's like witches
Green.
and necromancy. Have you heard of that? Where they take life from other. I think her arm is dead.
Yes, it does look like that, doesn't it?
But why is she like that? Why is she not waking up?
That I don't know.
Believe she had a curse.
I mean, I'm thinking so. Have you not heard of that?
Well, I have heard of that, but I'm not sure where it came from. She wouldn't say. But it showed up back in Dustvale.
She's been... I can't remember. Has she been rubbing her hand a lot?
Yes, she's been quite concerned about her hand, yes.
She
I've been
just
trying to
killed...
keep an eye on it. But if she just killed 7, you said? 7 people?
Did she kill more than 7, Beau?
She definitely did.
It may have run its course. I don't know. Is there someone in town, Brad, that I would know who would know a little bit about dark magic?
I don't think there's anyone in town that knows anything about dark magic. I mean, if there is,
Mummy would.
It would have been, it would have either been one of the evil Pyrehearts, who probably have all sorts of horrible connections like that. But that would just be conjecture. Or really somebody on the official side of things, clerics and stuff tend to have that kind of information. But there isn't any in town. There isn't any. There are religious people, but not really anyone who would be considered a cleric or anybody of any official religious order. Honestly, the people who would probably know would be you, because you have access to a library and the librarian. But the information really is unlikely. You'd literally have to question everyone in town and see if they have any information on it. I don't think you know of anyone that has any affiliation with some sort of like necromancers or anything. Necromancers, even if there are some in town, are definitely not open about it. Right?
Yeah.
They're like part of some sort of weird cult, or they're doing all this stuff in secret in a basement. They'll be hunted down by a paladin at some point and killed, so they don't really tend to talk about it. So if there is anyone in town, you don't know them. If there isn't any, like, there's no church in this town, so there isn't like a cleric that you can just go to. Your only real source of information might be the library. It's where you already draw that information from. It's just your instinct to go, well, I remember reading at some point about witches and hags. It would make sense for you to look into that. You probably were told by your dad to do that, because it's very likely that they're wandering around in the Banewoods. That's where they would be. If they're hiding anywhere, they're hiding in a horrible place in the woods, hidden. I very much doubt you would have encountered one, because they're pretty fucking powerful.
Okay.
But you would have been warned of them. Rangers and stuff would for sure need to be aware that there are witches and hags that could potentially be out there. But really, I don't think that there's any direct source of information in Bame. No, you're in the middle of nowhere, really, just some backwater town.
When you say watch a documentary and they're talking about it, and they always mention like a short blurb of like, this will help. Is there something in one of the books I read that had like a short blurb about helping or reversing it?
Roll me another history check.
Okay. 12.
If the curse has run its course, then the curse has run its course. And really, this is it. And you can take her to someone who might know better to do something. but there isn't really anything else to do. Whatever's happened has happened, and she is essentially just... she's through it, whatever it is.
I feel like there's not much we can do for her.
What are you saying?
I think it's outside of our skill set and what is available here.
Oh, definitely. Perhaps I'm not up for it today, unfortunately, but tomorrow morning, first thing, we can make the journey to find my mum.
Maybe she could help?
I possibly, yes. Sometimes it's hit or miss with her, but I think she would probably know at least more than we do, or at least who would know how to help. Yes.
I have a carriage in the back that I haul wood around in, and we could put her in that.
Oh, that's a great idea, and we'll just bundle her up. It started raining. Did you see that?
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the window. Does it look like the snow's melting?
No, it's still a little mushy because of the rain mixture. But it's relatively clear outside. The snow is falling lightly in almost the same level it was falling before when you first arrived. The snow is for sure not melting. No. It's still cold.
And I realized I stood up too fast and I have these giant wounds.
Hold on.
I forgot. Maybe we should.
You're all right.
I think
I need all the rest you can.
I think you should sit here, and you're just going to sit here for a couple of hours. I'll make some tea. You might have a concussion, so I need you to stay awake for just a little bit, and then when I'm sure you're okay, you can go to bed, all right?
Okay.
Right,
I'll
you
just
sit right here. Yep, right by the fire.
I sit down by the fire and I just kind of, there's a blanket on, and I just drag it over myself and probably get some blood on it. But
we'll clean that up. Don't you worry about that.
could we make sure Alvin's not on the floor?
Oh, absolutely.
Just put him here. I'll put the blanket on him too.
All right.
Also,
right next to you, or
Yeah.
on your lap, or
Not on my lap. I have a giant
sorry.
wound on my lap.
I'm sorry. All right. I will set him on the chair that I usually sit in, and then I'll try to scooch them next to each other. There.
Well, I awkwardly start trying to throw the blanket over him to land on his little body, so we're both sharing it.
Right,
And I
how's
just
that?
kinda,
You all right?
It's good. No, thank you.
Are you
both of
dizzy?
you. Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit? Okay, I'll just put some hot water on for you. Do you have any
All right.
dandelion or anything?
Yeah, there should be some dried up on the
perfect.
the shelf.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, I keep dying.
You're fine. You're doing
I keep
great.
dying, don't I?
Well, I mean, I don't think so. You keep getting knocked around a little bit, but I wouldn't say dying. That's a bit traumatic.
But doesn't kill you, right?
Makes you a lot stronger. You're doing great.
Just kind of sadly look down at my wounds and just kind of nod.
as soon as tending to Aura, I grabbed the chest and I placed it on the table. Now, money's not really going to be so much of an issue if your mom requires some payment.
Oh,
in assisting Ellie.
Is that from the Pyrehearts?
Well, what was left of it. There was originally a lot more, but when I saw that they were dragging Ellie's body down to the dungeon, I left it near the front door, so I'd still think whatever's left of it can certainly aid us.
So let me get this straight, and I've now made some tea, and I'm bringing the cup back to Aura. Here you go, Aura. Now,
thank you.
Let me get this straight. You slaughtered all of the Pyrehearts, and then you killed the mayor, and then you stole all of the money.
Well, okay. While Ellie was on the date, I charmed one of his guards. I think he was the lead guard at that. But yeah, I had him to help me take their money. Yeah, you can say in a way I was a little busy too.
So you killed a Pyreheart too.
Well,
the mayor. You
Well-
killed the mayor and stole all of the money. Did
Oh,
anyone
the mayor
see
was
you?
a Pyreheart.
No. I was invisible. So
This doesn't count if
nobody-
you were invisible.
I have to shit. Oh, I leave. I just walk out of the room.
well, okay, maybe
She
this.
just said she had to shit.
It must have been the tea. I don't know what tea she had.
Does she have a digestive issue?
Well,
Maybe
Hey,
the
you know, at
dandelion tea
least
went
we
right
know
through her.
make sure you're not having the same tea. I think you're gonna want to relax. You know.
Yeah, I don't really want to have to rush out. I'll just put that there
Yeah.
for now. You
Oh,
took
boy.
all of their money?
Well, maybe not all of it, but it was a hefty chunk. And it was what was left of it.
I mean, that's. Did she kill Nylora?
Was that the wife of the mayor?
No, she was a little younger.
Oh, yeah, she killed her.
Oh,
She spared no expense. She killed every single one of them.
I think in a slight way, it's just like this weird conflicted feeling of joy and also like, wow, that's pretty dark. Like, I don't like these people, but they were around since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And now we have all of their money as well.
It's like your
Well-
entire local, whatever, government just being removed, murdered. Just like, have you seen that program Designated Survivor where they blow up everyone? And there's just one dude, and they're like, you're president now. That's what happened, except there's no one left now. Like, it doesn't make sense how this town even runs without them, because that's how centralized they had made themselves. Like, everything ran through them and because of them. So now there's just like, yeah, it's a strange situation. There is no succession anymore either, if they're all dead.
I don't know who's gonna run the town.
Yeah. The mayor left us with that talk too while we had a day or two. Was well, I guess the people will cross that bridge when they get there. They'll probably appoint a new mayor, hopefully not as corrupted and bad as the Pyrehearts.
I don't know that they know how to do that. Oh God. I frantically reach for. I'm leaning over to the desk and pulling off a piece of paper to try to start writing down a letter to the librarian.
You ain't gonna turn us in, are you?
No, I gotta write a letter, and Buns will send it for me. I'm gonna send it to Joan. She runs the library. I'm just gonna let her know that there's been an accident.
All right, I'm back.
Are you
Sorry.
okay?
Yeah,
Are
well,
you
when
okay?
you get to my age, fear can be quite the diuretic, yes. So no one
But
saw
it wasn't
you.
the tea. It
Everyone's-
wasn't the tea.
Oh, no, you're fine. No.
Oh, okay.
So no one saw you, but we basically have killed everyone in power in this town and stolen all of their money. I
Pretty
think we should leave relatively quickly.
Am I gonna have to move?
Probably.
Maybe, yes. Might be a good idea.
I mean, I didn't kill them.
No, but your friends did.
They
I look
don't
over
know
at-
that. They don't know that.
You could all just be strangers in the night to me. You know?
Well,
They've seen me more with you, Suuna, not really them.
that's
So maybe
true. That's true.
maybe I could.
Did anyone see you coming up here with Ellie?
Oh, that I didn't consider. I was with Alvin coming up. But I mean, I could have been, just giving a friend a piggyback ride, and Alvin was just carrying my goods.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait it out. Yes. Maybe see if anyone notices.
I've opened a B&B for extra money.
Oh, that's a great idea. What a lovely breakfast you have served here. I'm not
Yes,
a
thank you.
very
I hope
good
that you've had
liar.
everything you've needed to sleep well.
Holy shit. I don't know what we're gonna do. This is bad.
Well, if we rest, then we can leave early in the morning. And if we're gone, maybe they won't suspect it was any.
But don't you think that will make them more suspicious if we're not
Seemed
here
like
and
it was
everybody's
okay.
dead?
No, I'm going to write a letter. And maybe Alvin can say, and he can say that we left last night.
All right.
Or
What
last
about this chest
afternoon.
of gold. It's got the family crest on it.
Can someone do an illusion spell on
We can
it? to
bury
make
it. Bury it. We'll bury it in the yard.
Then if they find it in the yard, then it's all pinned on me.
How are they going to find it in the yard?
We'll dump it in the
We'll take it with
lake.
us.
That's
We'll
not
take it with us.
funny.
Yes, that's a great idea, Beau. We'll take it with us and dump the thing in the lake. We'll put
The
it in the
killing
lake.
lake?
Yes, that one.
We'll substitute it with rocks, and then
And then
it'll
we'll just.
sink.
That's right. And we'll just take the gold with us, right? We're
Yes.
taking the gold? All right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm going to write a letter to Joan. And, well, maybe I shouldn't write a letter to Joan now.
Yeah, I don't think you should say anything. I don't think you want to implicate yourself.
But they have no government. They have no leadership. And it's snowing. I could send a message to, Joan's a little, she's not always lucid. There's some other people in town.
Who
I've
would you
told
want to
Klex
trust with
most
this?
things. I could send him a letter.
It's your hometown, Aura. But
We had this secret language when we were kids. I'll just write something cryptic. You'll know what it means, but you'll keep it safe.
all right. If that's what you want to do.
I'll leave enough in wiggle room in there so that it's, not super clear, but
Just make sure
something
it's not a confession.
I didn't kill them.
Well, but it could look like that if you say something like,
Exactly.
You guys killed them.
What?
And I point, look at our arm. That is the arm of murder.
It kind of is,
Nobody
isn't it?
knows.
Should we cut it off?
I think we should cut it off.
No. Not without Ellie's consent. That's her arm.
We could bury it.
We could bury the arm with the chest. We could just throw it in the lake.
What if it floated in the lake, though? What if that came out and floated?
We'll just put it with lots of rock and stone, and then it'll sink. And then no one will ever see it again.
Oh. I guess we can go talk to your mom, and maybe she'll know what to do.
Oh,
But we
right,
can't
Mom,
leave
I slaughtered an entire town accidentally. Not me, but my friends did. Oh, that's real great.
No,
I'm
let's
such a disappointment already. Oh,
Let's get
okay.
it correct. You were all guests at my B&B.
Right. I was a guest at a B&B that I randomly stopped in, and it just so happened that's not going to work. I need to sit down.
Well, maybe if we sleep, we'll have clarity in the morning.
I can't. All
I
right.
had a concussion. I need to
can't
rest,
sleep.
though. Look at
You
me.
have to be up for 4 hours before you sleep.
That's such a long time.
It's a really long time. Don't cry. It'll be all right.
This is too much. I would go lay down, and I just won't sleep.
No, you cannot lay down because I don't trust you not to fall asleep. You just sip your tea by the fire, and we'll just calm down, and we'll
What a
think
panic
this
attack
through.
feels like.
Take deep
Baby.
breaths.
Okay, I will send Klex a message. I will tell him that there might be a need for a new government or leadership in town.
Who would do that? Is there
he
anyone
could.
that you know that would step up?
His dad, Alvin. And I swipe my hand over, and he's just knocked out in the chair.
I point.
He's Alvin's
Alvin.
great. He has a good heart.
Alvin for mayor.
Alvin for mayor?
Alvin for mayor.
All right, Alvin for mayor. I guess it can't get. All right.
The owners of the general store are nice too.
Don't they like an election or something? Where the whole
It's just
town
been the
gets
Pyrehearts.
together
They've,
and
It's been like the passed down. Son now is also in charge. Oh, another son. Now he's in charge now. Now he's a doctor.
And a creep, apparently.
Apparently. It's worse than I thought. So, I don't know. The Langleys might be good. Lex's dad.
Maybe there's some way we could spin this. You know?
They all killed themselves because they couldn't handle.
No, maybe they were punished. Eh?
They thought it was a ghost.
So the next person that is in control won't be such a shit.
That might work. Maybe I don't send a letter and they...
Maybe Beau goes to the local tavern and tells a tale.
What? Me? Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do, right?
Well, I mean, like sing a ballad of sorts, I suppose, to spread the word.
That's right. That's exactly right.
It came to you in a dream.
Tell a ghost story. That's a great idea.
Okay. The Butcher of Beau.
That's perfect. I have goosebumps. That's perfect.
This might work.
This sounds like a great idea.
Oh, boy. Oh, God.
Well, you best get to writing. Do you need some paper? Or
yeah, I'm gonna need a quill and some paper.
All right. Or where is that?
Just over there, by the botany stuff. There's a stack of.
Oh, right here.
Papyrus.
Oh, I see it. All right. And do you need anything else, Beau? For your creative juices, do you want some tea, some chili?
I'll probably pass on some of that tea, but thank you.
Okay, suit yourself.
And I just sit by the fire and get to writing.
All right. Give me a performance check. That's how good this thing is.
Oh! Sorry.
Damn. 24. How is that a 20? What did you actually roll? An 18 plus 6. 24. Right. Whatever you create here is phenomenal. It's the greatest poem, song, play, whatever you craft over the course of the next few hours or overnight or whatever. By the end of it, it's going to be the most legendary thing of all time. Presuming you save the world. Otherwise, only like 3 people are going to see it. But what is it? What do you create here? You don't actually have to perform it. You can, but you don't have to. But you can explain what it is. What is the Butcher of Beau? Regardless of anything else from now on, it is for sure the best thing ever. Critically acclaimed. 100% Rotten Tomatoes, both sides. Critics and audience review. Best. What is it?
Well, of course, it's in song. It's the story, the grand story of the Butcher of Beau and how they slayed every single one of those Pyrehearts right before they slept.
That's it. It's a haiku.
Blood splattered here and there, and the people were freed of their corrupted minds.
All right, so it's a true story. It's the truth. It's the truth. Okay. Do you put in there anything about who the Butcher of Beau was, where they came from, where did they go? Where did you come from, Butcher of Beau?
Where she comes from is, of course, a mystery. But you best be on your best behavior, otherwise she'll come after you too, right before you sleep.
Nice. Okay. She'll come after you too. Okay.
This is basically where Santa is born.
I think you created, like what's the evil one that they have in Austria?
Black Peter.
Krampus?
Krampus was where
Krampus
I was going.
as well.
Actually, Krampus already exists canon in this universe. I did a Christmas special once. And Krampus is a demon, I think. What was he? I don't know. The Inquisition will tell us. All right. Well, the story of Krampus is now also known as the Butcher of Beau. And if you are morally evil, the Butcher of Beau will come and kill you. and you craft this thing. Do you insinuate that the Butcher of Bame is like some sort of like demon or ghostly figure, or like is it a person? Like, is this the type of thing where it's like this magical thing will get you? Like, because the Pyrehearts were evil, the Butcher of Bame materialized and killed them and then vanished back to whatever thing? Or is this like a legendary person that everyone should know about, the Butcher of Bame who goes from town to town slaying those that are evil? Which kind of story is it?
I'd say that a legendary figure, and a ghostly one at that, because they are
Legendary
never
ghost.
seen. Yes.
Okay, both. No one knows. All right. Okay, so you begin work penning this song, The Butcher of Bame. It's gonna take you probably all night. You know, you work on it, go sleep for a bit, whatever. Is anyone else doing anything crazy in this time? Anyone getting anything done? Anything you wanted to achieve? If we assume that you spend the next few hours or the evening doing something.
I'd like to heal, and that is what I'd like to accomplish with a long rest.
You're gonna get a long rest for sure.
Okay.
Just want to know if you want to do anything in that time.
No, I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah, okay. Same.
Yes.
Okay, so mechanically you can have everything back. You get all of your hit die, you get your hit points, you get your spells, you get your abilities and things as the evening passes. When this went down at the beginning of the evening, so we can assume the entire evening passes. And Beau spends some time kind of penning this song. Suuna keeps running back and forth from the toilet.
What? No, I only did that once.
Yeah, well, canon now because I said it. It's just crazy how many times she went this evening. And Aura, you begin to feel better. I think you had a near brush with death there. The entire experience would for sure feel like a dream, though I don't think you would necessarily have forgotten it. You wouldn't maybe be sure what you went through, whether the experience was real, a dream, what, because everything's a bit wibbly wobbly anyway at the moment. But it definitely wouldn't feel like 2020 vision here, where you're like, oh yeah, that totally was. I went to the store and saw my dad. It would feel like a very odd memory. But you do retain knowledge of it and the kind of conversation that you had, and whether it was a dream or not, you don't know. The Ellie doesn't really change. She seems to just be in this incredibly deep sleep. Every time you look at her, you probably think she's dead, and then run over and sit there for a long time with fingers dug deep within her neck before you feel a very light pulse. And her heartbeat is slow. It's very slow. Like you don't know whether this is just her resting heart rate, because she's an assassin and maybe they train like that, or whether this is an effect of what's going on, but it's extremely slow. But she is...
Does it change at all? If I'm checking on her every 20 minutes or so?
Let's have another medicine check. No one ever gets to use medicine checks in D&D, by the way,
Bless you, thank you for that.
Which was my alternative, my ulterior motive for having you do a surgery episode. 12. It over the entire evening, it gets slower, if anything. But she doesn't seem to change. Her hair goes from being light red to a very pale pinkish color over the evening as well. But her face seems to be serene, pale. She doesn't seem to be in pain. The hand doesn't change. yeah, nothing else going on there with her. Alvin wakes up at some point, probably fusses over Aura a bunch, and then eventually goes to sleep as well, and gets his own normal sleep, not passed out from whatever the hell, shock and exhaustion and happiness and sadness all at once. And you guys can sleep through the evening. So, assuming the night passes and the sun rises and you've all had some form of rest and Beau has finished on his masterwork, next day comes around. What are you guys doing first as the sun rises? You will probably feel a bit better.
Probably making some breakfast for everyone before they wake up.
Okay.
Whatever we have here in the house, I'll try to do that.
Some sort of...
I'm brewing some coffee.
Some sort of food is being
What check
made.
was that? Survival?
Yeah.
What did you have me rolling for that? Okay. Oh, wow. It's
Some
delicious.
amazing breakfast of whatever scraps you're able to find that remain in Aura's food stores. And yeah, there's the smell of some morning mead, which is essentially coffee, being brewed as well. Yeah?
Oh, I probably would have, I guess the town doesn't, the general store and that kind of stuff wouldn't be open until first light anyway, correct?
Yeah, it'd probably still be an hour or something after this.
All right. Has there been any like bell or people shouting or anything like that at all?
No, but you guys
No?
aren't in town. You're a little,
All right.
you're like up a hill, a little further outside of town. This
right.
is one of those, like, and Aura's house isn't the only one. There are several farms that make up Fame, and they're set apart from the main town because they need the farmland. Most of them sit on the south end of town. There are some that are quite far out. Most people grab a horse to ride out to them, as opposed to, it's not like a quick jaunt up a hill like Aura's house is, but there is plenty of families and stuff that live in Bame technically, but actually live quite far away from the center of town, because there's a decent amount of farmland. It's pretty much the town is quite self-contained, even though it has a train and has been growing and swelling over time, and it does get plenty of imports and stuff. It's really not like most of the other towns. It's definitely not like Dustvale, which relies entirely on that. It relies entirely on trade and the trains bringing stuff in and out, because there is only one town in the entirety of Dustvale that has a farm. So it's all import-export over there. Whereas here, this town is completely self-contained for the most part, which is why it's such an issue that the snows have ruined the crops and frightened away the animals or whatever's happened. It's a precarious position to be in. And Aura's house is set apart from that, so she wouldn't. I don't think you'd be able to hear usual town sounds all the way out here.
All right. Well, good morning. How do you feel, Aura?
I'm much better.
That's good.
It's good news.
It's great news.
How is she doing, though? I look over at Ellie.
Well, she's mostly the same. I mean, I did notice her pulse slow down a little bit over the night, but it's not. I mean, it's low, but it's not dreadfully low. It's not dead low. Well, I guess dead low would be non-existent. I don't know.
I kind of fell asleep last night. Did you tell your tale, Beau?
Oh, not yet. I'm gonna, go to town and do that in just a bit. Hopefully that goes well.
Do you want someone to come with you?
Oh, I insist that you rest. I think maybe this is something I do on my own. But if there's anything you ladies need from town, let me know and I'll grab it from the general store.
Well, I was thinking I would do that while you are doing your performance, and then we could slip out quickly.
Oh, all right then, yeah.
I'll stay with Ellie. All
right.
Start gathering blankets to wrap her in.
That's a great idea, and just make sure everything's the way you want it to be, and that you're okay to leave it that way. And then as soon as we get back, we'll sneak out.
Should I grab the bone saw?
What? Oh, yes.
Bring it.
Yes, maybe just in case. just in
Okay.
case.
Yeah, I'll throw it in the bag.
Okay.
What shall I do?
Alvin is just standing there like the camera pans down and he's still stood there too, looking up at you all.
Oh, right. Why don't you come with me, Alvin?
Okay.
We're gonna take a quick trip into town, and we're just gonna get some nice armor for Aura. Can I have some of the money, Beau, your money
Oh,
that you have earned
take it.
for your hard work singing songs?
But you said there's a crest
yes.
on it.
Shh.
That's on the outside. The money.
Oh,
doesn't
I
have
thought
anything on
you
it.
were saying that. Maybe I just got loopy last night. I thought it was in each coin, and I was like, that's going to be a big problem.
But I don't think Alvin heard that, so maybe we should just not talk about that.
I just kind of like stare at her wide-eyed and don't know what to say. So I like quietly move over to the kitchen and pour myself a cup of coffee.
Right.
Yes, take as much as you need.
Great, I'll do that. All right. Alvin, would you mind grabbing my bag over there? It's the one by the fire with the book poking out. And just tuck that right back in there and then grab the bag and
He
bring it along.
wanders over and grabs
As
it.
soon as he's out of sight,
Down.
I grab the gold that we
Grab it.
need, and then
This is for this, and that goes in there. And if
Right.
I grab that, okay.
We're just gonna go pick up some things. That's all.
There's a knock on the door.
Oh. My, what a lovely bed and breakfast you have here.
Yes, please get all the coffee you need.
Look at this beautiful breakfast. You're such a good chef, and what a wonderful host.
Yes, of course. And then I scurry over to the door and I crack it open and kind of peer out. Hello?
Give me a insight check.
A 2.
You see a man standing there. He has the coat of one of the Pyreheart men that you would see, and you can kind of make out that there are some people behind him. But he doesn't have the bowler hat. His hair looks crazy. His eyes are all kind of bloodshot, like he's been awake all night. And he says, "Yeah, excuse me. Just delivering some news."
I look, since I notice it's like the Pyreheart shirts, like I have my arm over here, like just going, like flailing it. And I'm sure they don't know what it means, but I'm trying to communicate that hide the gold. And I open the door just a little bit more while I'm flailing my arms, so my head's just kind of sticking in. It's cold out. I'm sorry. I don't want to open the door too much. Is everything all right?
He's like trying to look behind you a little bit. But he doesn't look like he can get looking around trying to see
Is
behind.
there someone for breakfast?
Yeah, right, hang on. You live up here alone, right?
Yes, I have.
Who's
I
that?
recently dabbled in some bed and breakfastry.
Some more?
And so I'm trying it out this weekend to see how it goes for some, extra income, especially with the snow.
Well, I assume you cleared that. I suppose it don't matter no more. All right. Well, we come to deliver some news. Since you're out here all by yourself, you might want to be careful.
Why?
There was a murder.
A murder?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, bloody murder. A bad one and all. It was the.
Who? Is everybody okay?
No, unfortunately not. Several of the Pyrehearts have unfortunately lost their lives. Give me a performance.
No.
Give me a performance check or a deception check. I just
Okay, deception or performance?
whatever you want for that.
Okay.
Roll.
A 13?
Yeah, he's sort of like he seems stuck at it.
That's all of them?
Give me a persuasion check.
16?
Well, like between you and me, yeah, all of them. Brown bread.
No, that can't be.
Yeah, brown bread, mate. Drop dead. All of them in the night. There's a murderer, a serial killer on the loose.
Oh, God. Wait, what about you? You guys were supposed to protect them.
Right, yeah, well, that's the thing. Took half of them out. All of the old guards and that up at the house. All of them been wiped out. They've left me
How
in charge.
many?
Well, basically all of them, as far as I'm aware. We thought it was our boy who done it, but it weren't.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Really weird.
I'll get some extra locks and I'll find ways to barricade myself in when I'm not outside. Is there anything I can do to protect myself?
Well, just I'm not too sure really. See, the thing is, the one what did it was an old man.
I'm sorry, an old man killed the Pyrehearts?
Yeah, not just any old man. It was a wizard.
I shove my stick at Beau, like, get in the bedroom, get in there.
And I scurry off.
Are we sure about that? I mean, Pyrehearts, they're young and vibrant, and I don't feel like an old man could just do something like that.
There's a shout from another voice from somewhere beyond the door. You look around. There are two other gentlemen in the coats. They both don't have hats on either. One of them says, "He was 6'5". He was a 6'5" wizard, built like a brick shithouse. He was absolute tank, proper unit. They said he came flying in, red fire from his eyes and the tongue of a devil."
Do they know? Does anybody know who this old man is?
Well, I don't know, really, no. I mean, we only just found out this morning, like half of them are dead, half of the crew have run off, you know, several people are missing, our good leader's missing and all. Yeah, the old wizard murdered everyone in there. They reckon he was after the gold. They lost a lot of the old gold and that. Yeah. Pretty crazy,
That could
isn't
help
it?
with the trade of all the snow. I mean, that's...
Yeah, as if we weren't fucked enough
Fortunate.
with the snow. Now we got a serial killer wizard what's flying around with a giant tail, massive arms.
I'm so upset. I'm so sorry. I mean, they ran our village. I'm in shock.
It is quite the great loss for us all. So,
If there's anything I can do,
well,
please.
just probably want to keep yourself locked inside. I'm not really too sure, honestly, what wizards can do. Probably basically anything they want, not to frighten you.
Well, if they're big and they have tails too, I mean, they can do anything, probably, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, yeah, they can turn you into a chicken and eat you if they want. So, I mean, not to frighten you, but basically you want to keep an eye out, make sure you don't go out at night, because it happened at night. That's about all the clues
Okay.
we got.
Well, I'll keep Buns inside as well.
Who's that?
My bird, Buns.
Right, yeah.
He's just actually sitting on my horn right now. Buns.
Oh, right, yeah. No, yeah, you keep an eye on that bird as well, yeah. Yeah, we'll do our best to secure the town and look for the wizard. And I suppose we'll just have to wait for the Queen to send some, I don't know, the fucking army, whatever.
I mean, yes, with a wizard like that, I don't know why. I mean, we need an army.
Right, exactly. So we're going to send a message to the Queen and hope she sends someone.
Who's going to be in charge?
Well, at the moment, most people are just kind of going crazy at the tavern. And we're probably going to find out later on today who's in charge, if anyone. I don't know. I'm hoping the Queen herself shows up, or at least send someone. I'm just doing the rounds. Thought I'd better tell everyone at the farmhouses what's going on. Since, you know, I was 10th in charge. So now I'm in charge of the... whatever we're called now. Not the Pyreheart men, is it? What are we called now? I just think we're called the men now. Yeah, I think we're just called the men now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for keeping us safe and for letting me know and coming all the way out here to let me know.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, keep an eye out. And if you see anything, well, I suppose you can try and run as fast as you can.
Yeah, I will run or I'll send Buns. Buns is actually, so now that you know Buns can deliver messages.
Right, yeah, well, I can't actually talk to birds, so...
No, he would have, well, hopefully I could write a letter fast enough if this giant wizard man showed up.
Right, yeah, fiery eyes,
Well, I'm going to lock up. I'm nervous because
giant muscles.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to close the door now.
I mean, you probably
because
can't
I'm
miss him
very
because he's a
fearful.
wizard. And he'll be flying around with fire coming out of his hands and that.
What kind of hair color did he have?
What hair colour you have? Oh, his hair was made out of snakes. Oh, it's made out of fucking snakes.
Oh,
Fucking
God,
hell,
he
really?
sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Made out of snakes.
Okay, I don't believe. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to post up in my loft today, and I will keep an eye out and scan the landscape for this wizard man.
Well, I don't know if you want to do that, right? Because, like, he's a wizard. Like, if you can see him, he can see you. That's how wizards work, isn't it? Yeah, that's how magic works. That's how magic works.
I mean, but he's got snake hair. I mean, he could be anything.
Right, yeah, but what if one of the snakes see you? Can he see through the snake's eyes? Yeah, of course he can. Yeah, you can see through them snake's eyes, so you want to be
But
careful.
maybe I should get out of town for a little while.
But you could do that, yeah, that's probably a good
Okay.
idea, you know? Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a trip up north, just for a few days.
What the fuck's up? We're going to go into the mountains?
You know me. I love to travel and explore the woods.
Right, no, I've actually
Maybe find some-
never come up here before.
I'm Aura. What's your name?
Jonan.
It's nice to meet you, Jonan.
Yeah, nice to meet you too as well. Alright. Well,
Okay. Well,
stay
I will
safe.
send. Thank you. You as well.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Good day.
Turns around. You close the door.
Nice.
You hear them speaking as they walk away. Yeah, everyone said she's alright, bitch. Yeah, I know, it's weird that, but she seemed alright to me. I was probably scared of the wizard as they leave.
I think it's probably quiet for a second as you close the door and we're hearing the voices go away, and then just a gold bar drops from underneath my clothes because I've been slowly trying to stuff all of the money into, in case they had to come in and look around. It's just like that plunk.
Apparently, a wizard man. I don't know if you heard any of that.
I did. Beau, you can come out now. Apparently, you're the butcher.
What?
Someone must have seen you.
With snake hair and
And a tail.
And a tail
fire eyes.
and fire. Oh, fire eyes. I could do that.
6'5", Beau.
6'5", an absolute unit.
Wow.
I don't know if we need you to go tell your Butcher of Bame story. I mean, you could.
I guess there's no need for it now.
We could just
Even though I
look
am
in the
pretty-
library.
True.
Well,
Everyone give me a perception check.
Oh,
real
no.
quick.
6.
11.
17.
6, 11, and 17. Aura, you're going through whatever you're about to say here. And as you're standing facing these two can see behind you. And that's why they can see what they're about to see. What were you going to say to them, Aura?
I feel like we could just burrito her and then, just put her in a bunch of blankets.
Ellie
and
is
then,
like rising up off of the area where she was laying down while Aura is speaking. And her hair is like falling behind her. Some of it is even falling out. Any of the last shades of pink are gone, and her hair seems like white or grey as her arms fall out from underneath her. That kind of dead hand curls upwards as if it's being held. As she's like raising up into the air behind where you are, she suddenly coughs up like ink or ichor or something. She coughs it upwards, but it doesn't fall down. It almost like as if there's no gravity above her. It hits the air and then begins to float upwards. She almost vomits more and more of it before suddenly falling to the ground with a heavy thud. She coughs again. And that's where we end today's session.
If you'll excuse me. I just have to go shit.
Yes,
So good.
she lives again.
Damn.
Sorry, I should say.
She lives again.
It's going to wind everyone up, actually. Thanks for playing,
boy.
players. Good sesh.
That was insane.
Successfully managed to do quite a few things there. There were alternatives to how that could have all gone, with dire consequences, I assure you. But you got, you did all right. You did all right. It will not go unnoticed that you left some of the bars behind. Good deeds are seen by the gods themselves. the day before, that several of the guards knew that there was like an old man in the house, right?
Yeah.
Like they knew this old man was coming, but now how quickly it transforms to some horrible legend. And next
And
week,
before, like 3 towns later, we hear someone singing the song.
right? Yeah, the Butcher of Bame is now 100%
Yeah.
this ridiculous story of Santa Claus, because he looks like Santa Claus. Like a 6'5" Santa Claus with a demon's tongue and fiery eyes. Yes, you did very well, I think. Was there something else I was going to tell you? No. Yes. No? Yeah, you're good. Right. Nice. Congratulations. You've successfully made it. Next week, we'll find out what the fuck is going on with Ellie, maybe. And yeah, that's that. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Let's do a quick round of shout-outs. I feel like there was something I was going to tell you, but I've forgotten what it was, so I guess I'll just save it. Oh, I know what it was. I wanted to just mention that in the Discord, do you remember ages ago when you were fucking around with the lore cubes in the Dread Tusk dungeon?
Yes.
I intended to drop a file in here a long time ago. But in the Discord, I dropped a file that is that has all of the outcomes for what was in those lore cubes. If you're interested in it, I don't know. I posted that the information was basically just to answer all the questions as to what the purpose of that dungeon was, because it was a weird one, especially for any newcomers to the show. Like, what the fuck? And that's what those cubes were for. And you answered like 2 of them, and then you were attacked by an eye creature and fucking ran away. So it answers a few of the questions, and there was a d20 roll every time you answered one of them. So I put all of the different possible answers for the lore cubes in there. It's just a weird supplement. It's pinned in the Tablestory Discord under the Dying Order thing. So if you go to the pins, there's a PDF, and it says spoiler lore cubes.
And for those watching on YouTube, the link to the Discord is right there in the description. And for those listening to the podcast version of the show, you can go to tablesstory.tv/Discord.
There you go. And there's a document in there. If you were just interested, I don't know. Some people are really interested in all the little bullshit.
It's amazing.
Things in there. But I intended to do it ages, like episode 10, because it was during episode 8 and 9, and this is episode 18 now. So that's there. If you wanted to go and read that, all of the different lore cube answers or plays or, cassettes, VHS tapes are in there. Let's do a couple of shout outs, and then we'll bounce. Then I'll go and lay down. Starting with KUP's players, who's alive. Congratulations.
Could I have died today, or will you not tell me?
Watch this. Like that?
That's a definite yes. I could have died today.
The whole chat was like, "Oh, she's not gonna die," and I'm like, "Bitches, you don't know, Brad. Like, if
No,
she doesn't, if she doesn't roll, she's not gonna win. She's not just gonna." Yeah. Anyway,
for the times for it to count today, thank God I got 3 successes, because I feel like I could have died today. So, hi.
I had a lot of faith in Suuna to give you advantage on those rolls.
Yeah.
I made it really difficult to die. Does that count?
Yes, it makes it less special, but it also is good because I wasn't ready to say goodbye to Aura yet. So I'm Katie Peters Plays. I play sci-fi and horror games here on Twitch, and I played Dark today, and we're playing through Mass Effect 2 right now. And I think that's about it. If you want to come hang out with me on Friday, I'm going to wear Costco pajamas and play Pokemon for the first time ever. So that'll be fun.
What's a Costco pajamas?
she loves Costco. Okay, like she needs to be sponsored by Costco.
Costco pajamas.
Oh, they have giant pretzels on them. Like they've got a giant piece of pizza being carried by 2 people on it.
I can love you.
It's magical, Brad. So this is the things. I need these little things in life, okay? Let me have these little things.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I would never judge you for such a weird, strange, odd, specific, niche thing.
I feel judged, but it's still happening on Friday. So come watch me play Pokemon Sword and Shield. I've never played a Pokemon game, so it's going to be interesting, I think.
It's going to really fucking weird you out then.
Probably.
You don't know what the
in
fuck
my
Pokemon
Costco
is.
pajamas.
What is
I'll be
happening?
weirding people out in my pajamas while they are being.
Is that thing
while
an
I'm being weird
actual
about the game.
teapot that can be captured? There's so many weird Pokemon now. I only know
I'm
the
ready.
original 7 of them or whatever. All right. Well, somebody who is an actual IRL Pokemon, Disbiarix, that was brought to life and released from a Pokeball. Every week we release her from a Pokeball to join us. Where can people find you in the week?
You can find me here on Twitch at Disbiarix. I do a bunch of role play and play a bunch of scary games too. So if you like that sort of stuff, you can come hang out with us. I stream about just about every day.
Nice. Inside of a Pokeball. And what about you, PB?
It's 7 o'clock and my cat has come for cuddles, so I don't have anything to say. Oh, yes, I do. That is a lie. I am actually doing something very exciting. I'm playing through Chrono Trigger and then I'm going to play through Chrono Cross, and I've also been streaming like every day because of that. And I'm going to stream in like 15 minutes after this is over.
Yes.
Play some more. Yes.
All right.
Yes. So come hang out with me.
We will. All right. Well, there you go. Don't forget to go and check out Pocket as well, and let her know what happened this week. And
Tell her no. Tell her we cut off her arm.
tell her that she had her hands cut off.
Yeah.
I'll get a strongly worded DM from her when you guys do that. She'll be like, "Did you let them cut off my fucking arms?" And I will literally reply with yes.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll see. Then
yes.
she'll go and watch the entire 3 hours of this, waiting for the moment to never arrive. Go on then. What's the last announcement here?
We're also hosting the new GM month on Wednesday
That's
at
this
2
week?
p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, I think it's next Wednesday.
Okay, so that's
We're doing
Wednesday.
Yeah, it's going to be
the
super
15th?
awesome. So come check that out. Yes, the 15th.
Okay,
That's right.
15th to Eastern.
2 p.m. Eastern. WAC is going to be like hosting the panel that everyone's talking about new GMing and the rule sets that are up. It's like for free, basically. You do this course and you know how to GM afterwards. And Unknown Armies is up, Numenera, which are the two that I know because we ran those two. And I think there's 2 other ones, WAC might say. Oh, he's just yelling in all caps this Wednesday, the 15th. WAC, we know. Get with
That's
the
all
program.
he does. He's just
7th C. And I think there's one other one. But I know that the 2 that I was very excited about was Numenera and Unknown Armies because we ran shows in that here on Tablestory. So if you want to learn how to GM those, they're telling you for free.
All right, and that's on Wednesday. So special stream Wednesday, 2 Eastern. We'll see you then. We'll see you tomorrow for Zero Blue Orion as well, and Tuesday for Witchcraft and Wizardry. And other than that, we'll see you when we see you. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. Bye.